Live on a Saturday night at Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the last of a three-game series and last of a five-game road trip as the Grizzlies take on the Jacksonville Icemen. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Carenza as Utah trying to salvage the third and final game of the series over in the Sunshine State. On Wednesday night, Jacksonville won 5-2 as Neil Robinson and Tyler Penner scored Utah's goals, but Jacksonville got one goal and one assist from former Grizzly Luke Martin. Travis Howe also had two goals, and former Grizzly Hunter Skinner also lit the lamp, and Parker Gahagan stopped 27 of 29 as Jacksonville got a 5-2 victory. It was a closer game than that, as obviously Jacksonville had an empty netter at the end. Jacksonville also had an empty netter towards the end of last night's game as they won 4-1. Johnny Walker scored Utah's lone goal. He now leads the club with 9 goals this season, but Jacksonville got another one goal and one assist performance from Luke Martin. And Aaron Nazarene also had 1 goal and 1 assist, and Charles Williams was outstanding in net, stopping 23 of 24. Utah's Lucas Preek stopped 33 of 36 in his first start since November 1st. Preek is back in the Grizzlies lineup tonight. He'll be the starting goaltender going up against Parker Gahagan, who got the start on Wednesday night. Gahagan's got a record of 5-5 with a .915 save percentage and 2.52 goals against average. So it should be an interesting one. Grizzlies and the Jacksonville Icemen. One addition to the Grizzlies lineup, as earlier today, forward Tarun Fizer was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Fizer is in the Grizzlies lineup tonight, and he'll be on the top line with Tyler Penner and Johnny Walker. So it should be a lot of fun. We'll see what Tarun Fizer does. After all, he's got 7 goals and 2 assists in 14 games for Utah. He ended up appearing in 3 games with the Colorado Eagles. And so it'll be interesting to see what Fizer does. He'll be wearing number 8 tonight. And it'll be interesting to see what the Grizzlies do. They'll be without Andrew Nilsson as he's serving a 1-game suspension. Remember, he got a slashing major late in the first period last night. And he also got a game misconduct. So Nilsson's going to be out of the Grizzlies lineup. The Grizzlies are also going to be without Vladislav Mikalchuk, who also is serving a suspension. It's the second game of a 2-game suspension due to an elbowing infraction that he got on Wednesday night. So it's the Grizzlies and the Icemen. Jacksonville's won the first 2 games of this series. Utah trying to salvage the third and final game of the set. Don't forget the Grizzlies will be home next weekend to take on the Kansas City Mavericks on Saturday, December 17th and Sunday, December 18th. Well, we're in business on a Saturday night, and when we come back, we'll talk with Guy Carenza and get his thoughts as you're listening to the Grizzlies pregame report presented by America First Credit Union.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your adventure.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Carenza's face-off between the Grizzlies and Icemen is 10 minutes from now. And, Guy, I think it's going to be an interesting one as Lucas Preek's going to make his second straight start. Last night he kept the Grizzlies in it, stopping 33 of 36. And now that the rust is off him a little bit, I expect him to have a pretty good game.
Yeah, Tyson, I expect the same as well. Parikh was a little rusty, as you mentioned, to start last game, but I really like the way that he handled the rest of the game. It seemed like he really settled in once he got a few shots in, and I expect him to be pretty good tonight.
It'll be interesting to see Tarun Fizer back in a Grizzlies uniform. He appeared in 3 games with Colorado in the AHL, but he had 7 goals and 2 assists in 14 games for the Grizzlies, and he's one of Utah's most dangerous offensive weapons, and it's going to be interesting to see him on that same line with Tyler Penner or Johnny Walker, 2 guys who have played well as of late. I think that top line's got some potential.
Yeah, Tyson, I really like that top line, and this is finally what we've been waiting for, right? we're finally starting to get guys back, and it's great to see Tarun Fizer back in the lineup. We know that he's a game changer. He's got a lethal shot, and he loves to score. So pair him with Walker and Penner. I really like that combination.
Dakota Raby's got a point in 6 of his last 7 games, and he'll be on the line with Keaton Jamison and Dylan Fitz. Fitz has got a point in 5 of his last 7, and I really think Dakota Raby's had a good road trip.
Yeah, Dakota Raby has had a really good road trip, and he's been really good ever since the Lions series. We started to see him really move with speed, start to play the game in a different way, and he's scoring now. He's making plays happen, and I think that's really great to see.
Grizzlies are going to be without Andrew Nilsson. We've still not seen any footage of what he did to earn the 1-game suspension, but he'll be out of there. Vladislav Mikalchuk is serving the second of a 2-game suspension, and so it's an opportunity for other defensemen to step up. It looks like Aaron Tho is going to be on that top defensive pairing with Connor McDonald, and we'll see what it's a big opportunity for Tho. And we saw Corey Thomas play a lot of minutes on Friday night as well. But I'm also looking at Bryson Martin, especially when the Grizzlies got on the power play. It looked like in the last 2 periods last night, Martin took Nilsson's spot. And if you're looking for somebody that's going to be critical tonight when the Grizzlies are on the power play, it could be Bryson Martin.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned Bryson Martin. I feel like we've seen him play as a forward a lot this year. I feel like he moves with a lot of speed, and I feel like he's got a good shot. So I feel like if anybody could replace Nilsson, I mean, it's hard to replace a guy like Nilsson, but if anybody could step in for Andrew Nilsson, I feel like Bryson Martin could do just fine.
Both teams have pretty good power plays. Jacksonville, 24.3% on the season. The Grizzlies are 5th in the league at 22.9%. It'll be interesting to see. Both teams had a power play goal on Friday night. I think special teams, if the Grizzlies are going to come out on top, it's going to have to be critical.
Yeah, Tyson, I think this game is going to come down to who can capitalize on their chances on the special teams game and who can shut down the other on the special teams game. So I think this is going to come down to who can score on the power play and who can shut down the other person, because we've noticed as of late, the Grizzlies have had a little bit of trouble scoring 5-on-5, but I think the addition of Tarun Fizer will help fix that problem.
We'll give you the starting lineups when we come back in 30 seconds. Once again, it's the Grizzlies and the Icemen meeting for the last of a 3-game series. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by America First Credit Union.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Carenza. We'll give you the lineups here shortly, but let's go to the picks to click. Everybody make your pick to click on the Grizzlies live chat on the YouTube feed, which basically looks at me and Guy here in the lobby at Maverick Center, the Grizzly. And if you're watching on Flow Sports, hey, head on over to YouTube. Just add a tab and make your pick to click, as dude's going to be the player of the game for the Grizzlies. Last night, Guy Morgan was the winner as he picked Johnny Walker. Today, he's going with Corey Thomas.
That's a bold pick, but I like it.
Looks like 71 Cowboys. Now that team won Super Bowl VI. Looks like they're going with Dakota Raby. Looks like Ruane's going to pick Tyler Penner. Becky is taking Tarun Fizer, who's back after a stint in the AHL. Nadine Hellowell's going with Kyle Pouncey. And it looks like her daughter's going with Joey Colatarchi as the pick to click. Colatarchi playing forward tonight. And so it'll be an interesting one. Everybody make your pick to click, and we'll tally them up and make a selection after this game. And Guy, I hope it's a tough decision, because that means a lot of Grizzlies contributed to the cause.
It is going to be a tough decision. I like these picks with all these picks here. I like Joey Colatarchi with Nadine's daughter, but I think I got to go with Cam Strong. This is a guy that's been a little snake bitten recently. I'd like to see him get back into the scoring column. I expect a big game from him tonight, so I'm going to go with Cam Strong.
I'm going to go with Christian Simeone, the Merrimack product. Now, Merrimack women's basketball lost by about a gazillion points to Notre Dame earlier today, and they're now 1-8 on the season. But I got the Merrimack product, Christian Simeone, as my pick to click. Now, let's get to the lineups of both teams. First, for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who have a record of 9-11 this season. They are 6-6 away from the friendly confines of Maverick Center. They are led by second-year head coach and general manager Ryan Kanasowicz. His assistant is Jared Pike. Starting in net is going to be Lucas Parikh. He's got a record of 2-3 on the season with a 2.62 goals against average and .917 save percentage. Starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies, Connor McDonald, the Grizzlies captain, who has 1 goal and 1 assist in 19 games this year. And the other defenseman to start out will be Bryson Martin, Who's 6'2", 195 pounds, former third-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres. Martin has 2 goals and 2 assists this season. The other defensemen we're expected to see tonight include Corey Thomas, who's got 1 assist in 9 games. We also see Jordan Stone playing a defensive role this evening. Kyle Pouncey's in there once again for Utah. And the Grizzlies are also going to be going with Aaron Thoe wearing number 28. He'll be in there for the Grizzlies, and he'll probably be playing a lot with McDonald, even though Martin does get the start. Thoe making his 16th game this season. It's the 3rd different team he's played for. He's also spent some time this season with Savannah and Norfolk. McDonald and Martin are the starting defensive pairing. Starting forwards, Joey Colatarchi, wearing number 4, is one starter. He is scoreless in 15 games. He's got 13 penalty minutes, but watch out for Joey tonight. He is the pick-to-click of Nadine Hellowell's daughter. Guy Karenza's pick-to-click is Cam Strong, who's got 1 goal and 2 assists this season. Strong last season played for Reading in South Carolina. And Neil Robinson is in the Grizzlies starting lineup wearing number 27. So the starting forwards are Colatarchi, Strong, and Robinson. Don't forget that Tarun Fizer is back in a Grizzlies uniform, as he spent 3 games with the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Fizer has 7 goals and 2 assists in 14 games. Johnny Walker will be in there with Fizer. I think they're going to be on the same line tonight. Walker leads the Grizzlies with 9 goals this season. He's got 12 points, so watch out for Walker. Over the last 4 games, has 6 points. Tyler Penner is going to be in the Grizzlies lineup as well, wearing number 21. He has appeared in all 20 regular season games. This is game number 21 for the Grizzlies, who are 9-11 this season. We'll also see Keaton Jamison in there wearing number 12. He'll be lined up next to Dakota Raby and Dylan Fitz. Christian Simeone is my pick to click. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist in 8 games this season. Cam Strong, Joey Colatarchi, and Neil Robinson are the starters. So the Grizzlies are going with 10 forwards and 6 defensemen. Andrew Nilsson is out serving a 1-game suspension, and Vladislav Mikalchuk is serving the second of a 2-game suspension. Grizzlies are still without defenseman James Shearer and Victor Bartley, and Garrett Metcalf is the 3rd goaltender, as Lucas Parikh is getting the start and Trent Miner is the backup. Starting in net for the Jacksonville Icemen is former Grizzly Parker Gahagan, who had a .929 save percentage for the Grizzlies back in the 2020-21 season. He's got a record of 5-5 with a 2.52 goals against average and .915 save percentage. Starting defensive pairing for Jacksonville, Tim Theochertis, who has 2 assists in 14 games, and he'll be paired up with Jacob Panetta, who last night committed his first penalty of the season. He had 1 goal and 4 assists in 19 games earlier this year. Starting forwards for the Icemen, former Grizzly Travis Howe, who wears number 24. He leads the Icemen in penalty minutes with 36. He had 2 goals on Wednesday night in a 5-2 victory over the Grizzlies. He's got 4 assists this year. Brendan Harris is also starting. He's got 2 goals and 9 assists in 20 games. He'll be wearing number 83. And Jacob Hammaker, who's scoreless in 14 games this season, which means he's probably due. Hammaker wearing number 13. But also watch out for Derek Lodermeyer, who's the reigning league player of the week. He's got 8 goals and 7 assists in 20 games. Aaron Nazarene had 1 goal and 1 assist last night. Nazarene leads the Icemen with 9 goals this season to go along with 8 assists. And Ben Howardchuk's looked impressive in this series as well. It's the Grizzlies and the Icemen. Watch out for the shot count, as Jacksonville has taken about 80 shots here through 2 games in this series. The Grizzlies have taken on average about 26 shots in this series. Jacksonville this season averaging 33 shots per game and allowing 26.5. The Grizzlies have been outshot on average by 5 per game. When we come back, we'll have face-off over at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. It's the Grizzlies and the Icemen coming up next, as this has been the Utah Grizzlies pregame show presented by America First Credit Union on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, Surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them, like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line tonight. The Grizzlies, who are 9-11 this season, take on the 11-9 Jacksonville Icemen. Grizzlies right now are in 5th place in the Mountain Division with 18 standings points. They're actually tied for 4th with Kansas City, but the Grizzlies have the 6th best points percentage in the division. A lot of games going on in the league. Matchups involving Mountain Division opponents. We'll watch out for Idaho as they take on Worcester tonight. Idaho defeated Worcester 5-1 in last night's game as the Steelheads have a record of 15-3-0-1 this season. Other games involving Mountain Division opponents. Tulsa is at Kansas City. Right now, Kansas City is tied for 4th with Utah with 18 standings points. Tulsa right now is in 6th place with 17 points. And Wichita is at the red-hot Rapid City Rush, who have won 6 in a row. The Rush are 9-1 in their last 10 games. Wichita has been pretty good as of late, though. They're just 4-6 in their last 10. The Thunder is in 3rd place with 24 standings points and a .571 points percentage. Starting in net for the Grizzlies for the second straight night is Lucas Preek. He made his first appearance since November 1st, where he suffered an off-ice injury. And Preek back in the Grizzlies lineup. He's 2-3 this season. He's the former 3rd-round pick of the Los Angeles Kings. And he's been solid in all 5 outings for the Grizzlies. And, you're thinking about Utah. Obviously, 1 goal last night. There's a lot to ask, from a guy like Lucas Preek, but he did a good job stopping 33 of 36. Andrew Nilsson missing tonight with a 1-game suspension, but the big story is Tarun Fizer is back in a Grizzlies uniform. Fizer has an 18.9 shooting percentage, 7 for 37 this season. It'll be interesting to see what he's able to do. He'll be wearing number 8, and he'll be paired up with Tyler Penner and Johnny Walker. Grizzlies going to be wearing the black jerseys with white numbers, white lettering, white on the elbow, and professional green trim. There's actually green stripes on the forearm for the Grizzlies, and green a little bit on the shoulders. A bit of a green, professional green stripe. As the puck drop, Connor McDonald, the Grizzlies captain, takes it against Jacksonville captain Christopher Brown. Brown this season for Jacksonville has 3 goals and 14 assists in 20 games. Watch out for the shot count tonight. On Wednesday night, Jacksonville outshot Utah 38-29. Last night, the Icemen outshot the Grizzlies 37-24. Starting forwards for the Grizzlies are Joey Colatarchi, along with Neil Robinson and Cam Strong. The starting defensive pairing is Bryson Martin and Connor McDonald. Good Saturday night crowd over at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. I'm hanging out in the Maverick Center lobby with Guy Krenza, and we'll try to see if we can describe the game the best we can. Last of a 5-game road trip, the Grizzlies will be home for 2 games next weekend against the Kansas City Mavericks. Next Saturday night at 7 o'clock and Sunday, December 18th at 3 p.m. Draw at center ice as the fans in Jacksonville will make a lot of noise. Watch out for Dylan Fitz. He might be a popular pick-to-click option. He's got a .5 of his last 7 games. As draw at center ice, Travis Howe will get the start for Jacksonville at 1 forward spot. He had 2 goals on Wednesday night. Watch out for Luke Martin and Hunter Skinner. Both of those defensemen have had good series for Jacksonville. And also watch out for Jacob Friend, who's got some AHL experience. He'll be a defenseman. As 10 seconds into the game, we finally get a picture, and looks like we're getting loud again. Action deep into the Jacksonville zone as Robinson gets hit in the corner. Now Colatarchi delivers a hit. Grizzlies skating from right to left as we see it on Flow Sports. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Jacksonville skates from left to right wearing a white jersey and black numbers. They feed a left wing pass. 3-on-3. They get it over to the left side. Hammaker with a shot. Saved by Parikh. And he holds on as we get our first whistle 34 seconds into the game. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. We didn't actually get to see the first 10 seconds of play, as the Grizzlies did have that forward line of Colatarchi, Robinson, and Strong out there. Draw's going to be just to the left of Lucas Parikh. Jacksonville, 34 seconds in, picks up their first shot. It was Jacob Hammaker, who's still looking for his first point of the season. Ben Howardchuk will take the face-off against Tyler Penner. Penner's got 4 goals and 1 assist in 20 games this season. As the draw won by Utah's Aaron Thoe skates around his net. He'll pitch it off the near boards, looking for Tarun Fizer. Now Johnny Walker gets the left side, just outside the circle. Shot saved by Gahagan. Rebound goes out to the left corner. Grizzlies skate along the near side. Fizer overskates the puck as Hunter Skinner, the 21-year-old former Grizzly of 2 years ago, gets it out to center ice. Grizzlies throw it back in. Skinner reaches for it as he fakes a pass to Jacob Strong. Now he gets to Strong in the near corner. Back over to Skinner, skates around Parker Gahagan. Those guys were teammates with the Grizzlies 2 years ago. Bounces off the stick, right point, shot, and he goes wide as it rolls along the boards to the near side. Though feeds it off the end of ball. Now it goes back to Jacksonville as the Grizzlies retreat defensively. Jacksonville will get it out to center ice right wing as Howard Chuck dumps it in to the corner, make that Lodermeyer, number 16, taken back by Utah as they feed it over to the far side. Grizzlies will pitchfork it out to center ice, taken by Jacksonville, who will throw it back the other way. Pass ahead towards Ben Howard-Chuck. He got a piece of it. That goes deep into the Grizzlies zone where Kyle Pouncey gets it. Pouncey outlets it out to center ice. Did anybody get a piece of it? Yes, they did. No icing as it's deep in the Jacksonville zone. Icemen race after it as both teams have one shot as the Icemen feed a pass out to the left side. Icemen skate in 2-on-1. Jacksonville looking for a centering P, but they couldn't get it off. And now puck ends up along the far side. Fitz and Raby battling with a couple Icemen. Raby comes out with the puck as he skates along the left side. They'll feed it out to Corey Thomas, who dumps it in and bouncing on one hop and getting into the glove of Parker Gahagan as the whistle blows. 17:56 left in the first as Thomas was at center ice and just lifted it in the air. It bounced on one hop into the glove of Gahagan, who holds on. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw, 2:04 into the contest. Grizzlies will have a little bit of time off next week as they obviously don't play until next Saturday, which will be the Teddy Bear Toss as well as Ugly Sweater Night. I actually got to look at what the ugly sweaters look like, and they're actually not all that ugly that the Grizzlies will be wearing next week. Jacksonville wins the draw in their own zone as Jacob Friend throws it to the far side. Now out to center ice. Grizzlies get it on a hop. Grizz trying to feed it out to Tyler Piner, but the puck stayed along the far side. Now deep in the Jacksonville zone where it's run down by Jacob Friend. He'll pitch it ahead as Jacksonville will dish it out to center ice. Grizzlies get it, and they'll lift it out to the left corner. Gahagan cuts it off. They'll get it to Skinner. Back to neutral ice as Jacksonville will throw a pass behind their back. Now the Icemen dump it in, and that was Jacob Hammaker. Now back behind his net. Parikh gets it over to Aaron Tho. He gets to Simeone. The Merrimack product will backhand it out towards the Jacksonville zone. Icemen get it back. Icemen skate from left to right here in the first period. About 3 minutes in, they cross center ice. They lift it in the air. It's gloved by Tho. He'll drop it in front of Parikh as the Grizzlies will start the attack again as Simeone gets a poked away. Jacksonville 2-on-3. They feed a pass down the middle. Lefty shot. Saved by Parikh. He holds on. That shot was taken by Carson Denomi, number 14, who's got 2 assists in 15 games this season. So Jacksonville up to 3 shots, 1 shot per minute. As we got 16:59 left in the first. We're still early on, so pull up a chair and enjoy a little bit of Saturday with us. As Grizzlies take on the Icemen for the third and final time this season. Jacksonville's got a 4-game winning streak against the Grizzlies over the last couple of years. Face-off taken by Lodermeyer. He wins it. Jacksonville will feed it to the left point, where Tim Theocharidis will roll it back off the end wall. Now Jacksonville back in the left side. Denomi will feed it across, and he glances off the stick and goes high and out of play into the seats. As the draw is going to stay in the Grizzlies zone. 16:46 left in the first. Quite a few whistles here early on. Watch out for Johnny Walker tonight. He's got 21 shots over his last 5 games, and he's been outstanding for the Grizzlies. He's got a 20.5 shooting percentage this year, 9 for 44. Draw is going to be in the left circle. Keaton Jamison will take it against Derek Lodermeyer. Lodermeyer's got an A on his sweater. Jamison wins the face-off. As skating around his net is Corey Thomas. He'll lose the puck on the right side. Jacksonville lefty shot, and it goes wide. That shot was taken by Victor Hadfield, number 4. Puck goes back to center ice. Jacksonville will race back into their own zone to get it. Icemen will ricochet it off the near boards. Trying to dump it in is Denomi. Now he gets it to the right circle. Lefty shot, saved by Parikh. Parikh's been busy so far, but he stopped them all as we're about 4 minutes into the game. Grizzlies on the left side. Pouncey in the area. He'll throw it across towards Thomas, who couldn't reach it. Now the Grizz. Luke Martin over to Nazarene. He's in the right corner. So he's battling with Jamison. Now it rolls back to the right side. Backhand shot by Christopher Brown is blocked. Raby around the net. As he gets it poked away, Raby chases after it at neutral ice, but it's Jacksonville that gets there first. Martin in the right wing crosses center ice and drives it around the boards. Pouncey in the left side chasing after it. He'll nudge it ahead towards Walker. Johnny will skate towards center ice to get it, but Jacksonville that's got the puck as they cross center ice again and dump it in as Utah makes a line change. Parikh will get it over to Penner. He gets blocked by Brown, but the Grizzlies get it to center ice for Fizer. Right wing pass goes to Johnny Walker, delayed offside. Walker touches up as a whistle blows with 15:31 left in the first. Draw is going to be at neutral ice. Jacksonville with 4 shots so far. The Grizzlies have taken 1. The Grizzlies offense over their last 7 games has scored 24 goals. They came into this series with 4 or more goals in 5 of their last 7 games. You know, they had a string coming into the series where they had scored 4 or more goals in 5 straight games. On Wednesday night, they lost 5-2, and then Friday night lost 4-1. Jacksonville has the puck in their own zone as they skate from left to right over towards center ice. Luke Lynch gets hit by Martin, but keeps the puck. Lynch will skate towards the right circle, now towards the goal line. I try to feather it out in front towards Howard Truck. The pass goes wide. Now out to the right point for Hunter Skinner. He tried to nudge it across towards Howard Chuck, but he was skating the other way. Grizzlies skate down the middle. Utah with a righty shot. Saved by Gahagan. Good look by Utah and Tarun Fizer as he had the best look for Utah so far. Now 5 minutes in. Howard Chuck will drop it off. Right circle shot. Saved by Parikh. He's trying to locate it. Looks like he's covered up. That shot was taken by Zach Jordan, who had 1 goal and 1 assist on Wednesday night. As he got a nice back pass from Howard Chuck. Jordan had a good look from the right circle, but Parikh was able to make the save. 14:51 left in the first. Jacksonville up to 5 shots. They've got an offensive zone draw. Haven't had a single power play yet. Obviously, when both teams are on the power play, they're a threat to score. Utah 5th on the league in the power play. Jacksonville is in the top 3 among the league. Draws in the right circle. As Utah wins it, and as Kyle Pouncey around his net, he'll feed it to the far side. Now back towards Cam Strong, but he never got the pass. The puck stayed along the far boards. In the Grizzly zone, Pouncey over there hacking away. So is Strong and Colatarchi along with 2 or 3 Icemen as Jacksonville holds their line strong. As Hammond Kurt will feed it up top, and it goes out of the zone. Jacksonville chases it back in their own zone. Taking it is Jacob Panetta, the Colgate product, over to Travis Howe, who will nudge it along the far wall. Jacksonville pitches out towards center ice, and chasing after it is Lodermeyer over in the left corner. Grizzlies gather it, try to nudge it ahead. Hal delivers a hit. Now Utah fires a pass towards Cam Strong that goes wide. It looks like it's going to be icing on Utah with 14:10 left in the first. As the Grizz were looking for Cam Strong at neutral ice, and if the pass was accurate, Strong could have had a pretty good look skating from center ice in. Just about a one-on-one with the Jacksonville skater. But the draw comes back towards towards Lucas Parikh. Thinking about Parker Gahagan and what an amazing job he did for the Grizzlies a couple years ago. He was the league's goaltender of the month in May of 2021. That was the final month of the regular season. Off the draw, left wing shot, saved by Parikh. He gloves it with 14:08 left in the first. That's Jacksonville's 6th shot on goal. As the Grizzlies make a line change, they get Corey Thomas on the ice, but the forward pairing of Dakota Raby and Dylan Fitz out there along with Keaton Jamison. It'll be interesting to see the defensive pairings. I think Ryan Kanasowicz is going to switch things up a little bit. It's going to be tough to see who's going to be the defensive pairing, as I think it's going to be a little bit jumbled as the game progresses. Corey Thomas gets it, right circle in the Grizzlies zone. He'll nudge it out to center ice. Now the Grizzlies cross center. Skate down the middle. Jamison with a shot, and it goes wide as he chases after it in the right corner. Jacksonville gets it. They skate around their own net as they pitch it out to Christopher Brown. They'll throw it cross ice to the left side. Jacksonville skates in towards the left circle. Harris stops along the boards, feeds to the left point. Lefty shot, saved by Parikh. Rebound goes out towards the left corner. Now back to the right side, Nazarene. Throws up top to Luke Martin. He'll fire a righty shot on a glanced off of Parikh, and it's off the end glass. Jacksonville tries to center it from behind the net, picked out by Jamison. He'll carry it out to center ice. Jacksonville crosses center. They feed it across, bounces off the stick of Thomas. Jacksonville gathers it at center ice right wing, and they dump it around the boards. Parikh behind the net cuts it off. 13-15 and counting left in the first, still no score. Jacksonville's outshot Utah 7-3. Bryson Martin will outlet it out to center ice. Grizzlies have it. Johnny Walker skates down the middle. He gains the line, takes a righty shot on it, fanned on it a little bit. Jacksonville might have gotten a piece of it as the Icemen skated along the near wall, out towards the left point, though keeps it in. He'll feed it to the right side, righty shot. Blocker saved by Gahagan. As the rebound goes out towards the near side, Jacksonville will feed it across, now back towards the near side for Luke Lynch. He crosses center ice, and he'll dump it to the corner. Denomi tries to get around Tho, who delivers a hit. McDonald around the net as he'll lift it out to center ice, bouncing puck into the Icemen zone. No icing as Tarun Fizer and his good speed skates down there. He gets hit by Hunter Skinner. Skinner takes the the puck and he'll feed it out to the right side as the whistle blows with 12:29 left in the first. Time out on the ice. We'll take one as well. We're back in 1 minute. Jacksonville's outshot Utah 7-3, but there's no score on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
No score between the Grizzlies and Icemen. 12:29 left in the first. Jacksonville's outshot Utah 7-4. It's important for the Grizzlies to score first. They are 7-2 when scoring first this season. They're just 2-9 when the opposition scores first. So watch out for that. Here's this game progresses. Who ends up scoring first might end up deciding who wins this game. It's kind of odd when you think about in the league, about 75% of the teams that score first end up winning the games. Grizzlies win the draw. Right circle. Shot goes wide. Actually, more of the right wing near the point as Aaron Tho gets hit in the near corner. Grizzlies in the offensive zone, but Jacksonville's Zach Jordan will feed it out to center ice. 2-on-2. Icemen skate over the blue line, over to the left circle. Lefty shot on it, gets blocked before it gets to Parikh as the puck ends up to the side of the net. And Jacksonville's Tim Theocharidis will feed it to the left point. Lefty shot on it, gets blocked on the way. It goes to the right circle. Panetta, who's shadowed by Simeone, feeds it out in front. Jordan couldn't accept the pass. Grizzlies poke it back towards the far corner. Though, will pitchfork it out to center ice looking for Cam Strong. Strong over to the right side. Grizzlies attack as the Grizz skate towards the left side of the offensive zone, feed it back towards the right. And whoever decided to go with this near side camera angle in the corner just did a bad job as Jacksonville crosses center ice and dumps it in. As Martin over towards Pouncey, who gets hit. Now the Icemen over in the offensive zone, center it, and it's picked off. They were looking for Lodermeyer. He couldn't handle it. Martin tried to clear it out. Left point, Jacksonville with a lefty shot that goes wide, bouncing off the boards. Pouncey gets hit by Howell over in the near corner as Cam Strong will force it out of the zone and into center ice where it's taken by Jacksonville, who seems to be a team that possesses the puck pretty well. About 9 minutes into the game, still no score as the Icemen are in their own zone as they'll feed it over to the far side. Jacksonville will carry it out to center ice left wing and drive it into the right corner as it rolls back behind Utah's net. Parikh will feed it back towards the near side. Now it goes to Jamison. He'll cross center ice left wing and drive it around the boards. It stays in play towards the right corner. Jamison delivers a hit. Jacksonville will feed it back along the near side as Travis Howell gets it. Howell, the folk hero, former Grizzly, 8th in Grizzlies team history in penalty minutes as the Icemen feed it over to the left side. Now back to the point as the Icemen wind and fire, and it's blocked. Right wing, Martin with a shot that goes wide. Now back to the left side, across to Martin. Luke will take a shot that's blocked by Raby. Those guys were college teammates at Michigan. Martin around the boards, now behind the net. Howell gets spun around. He'll feed it back towards the left corner. Now Utah gets the puck. Raby skates along the near side about halfway through the first period. He'll feed it to the far side for Jamison, who drives it in. Both teams make a line change as Gahagan, who wears number 31, will feed it over to Luke Martin. Now the Icemen hold the puck behind Gahagan's net. Now they get it back to the near side for Martin. He'll force it out to center ice as the Icemen get the center ice, dish it ahead. As the Icemen delayed offside, Utah pokes it away. Now Martin will feed a long-range pass to the right side. It glanced off the stick, and Jacksonville in their own zone will bounce it off the near wall. Jacksonville gets hit in the corner as the Grizzlies. Johnny Walker gets knocked down. The official was spotting it, and no call. There's actually 2 referees tonight as the Grizzlies get it back towards center ice and drive it back in. Left side along the near wall. Jacksonville will feed it ahead. Icemen cross center ice. Luke Lynch gets around Martin. Lynch still with the puck. Nudges ahead towards Nazarene, who had to race after it. Now to the right side. Jacksonville back towards Nazarene. Behind Utah's net, he gets pinned up by McDonald as Martin takes the puck, and he'll throw it to the left point. As Jacksonville looks to center it, picked off by Martin, who feeds it out to center ice. Jacksonville gets it back Rink-wide pass is picked off by Utah and bounced off the stick of Penner, who skates towards the Jacksonville zone, but the Icemen come back the other way. Icemen get tripped up at the blue line. Utah takes the puck. Oh, it's going to be a penalty. As Jacksonville got tripped up just about outside the offensive blue line, Joey Colatarchi gets 2 minutes for tripping. Neil Robinson was in the area as well. It looks like Jacksonville, for the first time tonight, is going to be on the power play when we come back in 30 seconds. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Joey Colatarchi gets 2 minutes for tripping as he's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. Have you or someone you know been charged with a DUI? Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Call and get Utah's best DUI defense team, Rogers and Russell. Colatarchi's in the penalty box. Jacksonville last night went 1 for 7 on the power play. For the season, they are 24.3%. Draws going to be in the Grizzlies zone. No score. 8:59 left in the first. Jacksonville's outshot Utah 8-4. Icemen win the face-off. Over the left side, Luke Martin beats it back to the left circle as Hunter Skinner skates towards the left corner. Now a ring around the boards, back towards Christopher Brown. He'll skate towards the right circle. Now back up top. Now over to the left side for Skinner. Back to Martin. They'll throw it to the right side. Now back to Martin. Luke will skate towards his right. Now feed it to the right circle. Jacksonville gets it back across to Skinner. He'll take a righty shot, and it gets blocked. Skinner gets the rebound. He'll skate towards the left point, and he'll throw it to Martin. Luke with a shot, and it's blocked about 5 feet in front of Parikh. Grizzlies try to clear it out. Now McDonald will feed it towards the side of the net, and the Grizz finally clear it out. Good patient move by Connor McDonald. He thought about clearing it out. Then he realized he didn't have much of an angle, so he threw it back towards his right, and eventually the puck ended up getting cleared out. 50 seconds into Jacksonville's first power play of the game, they cross the line again. Left side, spin it back around towards Brown. Christopher's his first name. He's the Jacksonville captain as he throws it back to the left side. Dakota Raby will backhand it all the way out of the zone, but it goes just to center ice. Jacksonville re-enters. Brown along the near wing boards, throws it back to the left side for Martin. He faked it to Skinner. Martin keeps the puck, skates towards the left corner. Now feed it around the boards. Jacksonville skating from left to right this period. Christopher Brown skates back to the right corner. He'll throw it up top for Skinner. Now to the right left side for Martin. Martin switches places with Skinner. Now Martin is in the high slot. He'll throw it to Brown. Brown, right circle, feeds it to the side of the net. Jacksonville with a shot, and it goes high and over the crossbar and back towards the right corner. 25 seconds left in the power play as Martin will get it over to Brown. Now across to Skinner. One-timer, he scores. What a blast by Hunter Skinner. Gets his third of the year. That's his second goal of this series, and he's got an NHL entry-level deal for a reason. And Skinner spent all of last season in the AHL. High fives everybody on the Icemen bench. It's a power play goal as the Icemen have taken a 1-0 lead. But Jacksonville worked the puck around pretty well between Christopher Brown, Luke Martin, and then eventually Hunter Skinner getting a one-timer from the left circle. As Brown threw it to Skinner, and then Skinner found the back of the net. I wonder if Luke Martin's also going to get an assist on it. As Jacksonville's drawn first blood tonight, Skinner for the Grizzlies had 7 goals in 26 games back in the 2020-21 season. Utah wins the draw as Martin will throw it ahead towards Tarun Fizer, but it goes deep into the Jacksonville zone as Theo Cheritis gets hit by Penner, but nudges ahead. Now Travis Howe throws it out to center ice. Travis does have a brother named Tyler. As Martin will throw it ahead, Grizzlies still in their own zone as Tarun Fizer will curl and throw it back to Martin. Bryson skates along the left wing, enters the offensive zone, throws it to the corner. He gets hit by Pineda. Pineda and Martin. It looked like Pineda took the worst of it as it goes towards the far side. Jacksonville gets it, skating from left to right. Delayed penalty, and it's going to be on the Grizzlies. Jacksonville skates towards the left point, but they enter on offside as the whistle blows with 6:41 left in the first. Then after the whistle, some pushing and shoving. Travis Howe skates over there as it looks like Jacksonville's going to go back on the power play. Icemen have outshot the Grizzlies 11-4. Jacksonville is 1 for 1 on the power play tonight, and it looks like the Grizzlies are going to be shorthanded once again. On the Jacksonville goals, Skinner scored at 12:41 in, Christopher Brown and Luke Martin with the assists. We mentioned Utah's got 4 shots, 1 shot each for Johnny Walker, Tarun Fizer, Bryson Martin, and Tyler Penner. For Jacksonville, already 2 shots for Skinner, Lodermeyer, and Howard Chuck. Bryson Martin is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. He'll be in there for 2 minutes, 6:41 left in the first. Icemen lead 1-0. Draw goes towards Parikh, who feeds it back towards the left corner. Jamison skates over there and clears it all the way out. 6.5 minutes left in the first. Icemen lead 1-0. As Jacksonville back deep in their own zone, Luke Martin, who's got a point in all 3 games this series, will nudge it ahead to the left side. Now across to Brown. Back to the left side. Jacksonville enters the zone. They get it back towards Martin. Grizzlies anticipated it and cleared it back to center. Icemen at center ice will back it out into their own zone, and it's Hunter Skinner who feeds it back to Martin. Skinner and Martin have been the Grizzlies' 2 of their best defensemen over the last couple seasons. As Lodermeyer back to Skinner. He skates down the middle, enters the zone. He'll feed it back towards the left as the Icemen are on side. Now Skinner gets it up top for Martin. Luke will throw it to Brown. He skates towards the right circle. Now back up top for Martin. Over to Skinner. Hunter. Back to Luke Martin. Over to Skinner. One-timer. And he didn't get much on it. Jacksonville with a shot. Saved by Parikh. He's on his keister. Puck ends up back to Skinner. Parikh back to his feet. Halfway through the power play as Jacksonville gets over to Luke Martin. Back to the right side. Righty shot. Glove saved by Parikh. And he holds on with 53 seconds left in the Jacksonville power play. 5:33 left in the first. The Icemen are up to 13 shots to the Grizzlies 4. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. But it's kind of interesting when I think about, where the Grizzlies were 2 years ago on their power play. It was a lot of Hunter Skinner. He was more of a finisher than he was a distributor. And then last season, Luke Martin with a lot of power play assists, most of them to Dastu. And it looks like Jacksonville's kind of got that 2-man game rolling. As the Icemen win the faceoff, looks like they made a line change. So did the Grizzlies. Down to the right circle, Lynch gets it over towards the right side. Shot and a score. As Nazarene was in the area, and so is Ben Howardchuk. Howardchuk is in the right circle, kind of fired kind of a combination of a pass and a shot, and finds the back of the net. Looks like Nazarene is the recipient, as he's going to skate towards the bench first. As 2 power play goals for Jacksonville has given them a 2-0 lead with 5:24 left in the first. Howardchuk was over in the right corner, and I centered it towards Nazarene. Now, Nazarene looked like he glanced off his skate. Is that a kicking motion? They might have to take a look at that just to make sure it wasn't a kicking motion that Nazarene. It looked like the centering pass as Nazarene was out in front of the crease, and then looked like it bounced off his skate and went into the back of the net. I think they've got to look at this one again. As Nazarene, they are going to look at it again. I think that was a kicking motion, which would disallow the goal. As Nazarene was over in the crease, really the question is whether he moved his leg and took the puck in a direction where it was headed towards the back of the net. I think it did from the one look that we got on Flow Sports. I think this one might be disallowed and would make it a 1-0 game again. Right now, Jacksonville leads 2-0. As Nazarene was battling in front of the net, Howardchuk was on the right circle, centered it to Nazarene. It glanced off his skate and went into the back of the net. As the referee is looking it over, there's 2 referees tonight. In about 25% of the league games this season, there are 2 referees. John Lindner and Trevor Wolford are the 2 referees. Andrew Bartholomew and Tanem Wozniak are the 2 linesmen. So they're looking it over to see if there was a distinct kicking motion by Nazarene, which would disallow the goal, which would be Jacksonville's second power play tally of the first period. 5:24 is left in the first. There's 43 seconds left in the power play for Jacksonville if the goal gets disallowed. As they show a replay again, that's about as much. Nazarene kind of moved his foot to where it was angled to where when it hit his skate, it would go into the net. They're going to count the goal, though. Are you kidding me? 2-0 Jacksonville. I guess the World Cup's going on. That was about as much of a kick as I saw all weekend. And I watched 4 World Cup games this weekend. 2-0 Jacksonville, as they must not have seen anything that was distinct that would disallow the goal. As the Icemen have 2 power play goals, they win the face-off. They lift it in the air from one blue line to the other. Travis Howe trying to locate the puck, but it's Utah that gets it. As Corey Thomas says, it mounts towards the Grizzlies' net. Jacksonville will kick it over to the far corner of the offensive zone. Harris will throw it up top now across to Skinner. Skinner to the right side takes a shot. Alpreet gets tripped up in front of the net. The arm is raised by the referee. And it looks like the Grizzlies are going to go on the power play for the first time tonight. As with 5:01 left in the first, Lucas Preet got tripped up in the crease. And we'll see who ends up going to the box for Jacksonville. Preet is on his keister right now. And we'll see when we come back in 1 minute as Jacksonville leads 2-0 with 2 power play goals as Hunter Skinner and Era Nazarene have found the back of the net. Grizzlies should be on the power play when we come back. Jacksonville 2, Utah 0. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Now, Jacksonville fans are shaking their moneymakers. They've got 2 power play goals so far. Hunter Skinner scored 12:41 in, and then Era Nazarene on a goal that's going to be controversial among Grizzlies fans' eyes. He made it 2-0, 14:36 into the first. If this was the World Cup, that would have been a great centering pass with a kick into the back of the net. But the officials, after video replay, decided there was no kicking motion, or at least no distinct kicking motion to disallow the goal. As Travis Howe, the former Grizzly, is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. He tripped up Lucas Preek. 5:01 left in the first. Jacksonville leads 2-0. The Icemen have outshot the Grizzlies 15-4. Draws in the left circle. Johnny Walker kicked out of the faceoff circle. Taking the draw for Utah will be Cam Strong. Walker's now on the right wing. Watch out for Dakota Raby on the left side. Bryson Martin is up top. And can't see who the other guy up top is. Might be Fizer. Jacksonville wins the faceoff. Throws it over to the right side. It is Fizer. He kept the puck in. Fizer on the right point. Skates towards his left. Now he stops. Fires a righty shot on. It gets blocked. Jacksonville with the hand pass out to the right side. Fizer feeds it across. It stayed in the zone. Martin on the left side takes a shot. Glove saved by Gahagan. He holds on as Parker Gahagan has stopped all 5 via scene. 18 seconds into the power play. Martin with a shot from the left point, but it was blocked and saved by Gahagan. Draw's going to stay in the Jacksonville zone as Bryson Martin now has 2 shots for Utah. Watch out for Tarun Fizer, especially on this power play unit for the Grizzlies, as he can end up being the finisher. And Bryson Martin has shown some potential on the power play as well. Fizer this season in 14 games for the Grizzlies has 2 goals and 1 power play assist. That's 2 power play goals, 1 power play assist. Jacksonville wins the faceoff. They skate towards their blue line and clear it all the way out towards Lucas Preek. Preek cuts it off behind his net. Tarun Fizer over there. Bryson Martin takes the puck. Martin skates north-south. Now he veers off to the left. He'll throw it back to Fizer. Tarun at neutralize, across the center. He'll throw it to the left side for Raby. Dakota gets around a skater, skates towards the left corner as he feeds it back towards the right side. Jacksonville gets it. Luke Lynch will go down, and Jacksonville will clear it all the way to the left side. Icemen skating. They'll take a shot, and they score. The Icemen, for the second straight game, has scored a shorthanded tally as Jacksonville towards the left side. Zach Jordan was over there. So is Jacob Panetta. Looks like Zach Jordan had scored his 5th goal of the season, and is the goal going to be allowed? It looked like Jordan stopped at center ice before before shaking hands with everybody on the Jacksonville bench. Jordan skated to the left side, fired a shot that bounced off the arm of Preek and into the back of the net. It's the Icemen 3 and the Grizzlies nothing. All 3 of the Jacksonville goals have been scored on the special teams. 2 power play goals and now a shorthanded tally. 4:11 is left in the first. Jordan has a point in all 3 games this series. Draw's going to be at center ice as Jacksonville looking for a 3-game sweep. Grizzlies right now 1-3 on the current road trip. Now it looks like we're going to have another video replay. Jacksonville's got another guy standing in the penalty box. Looks like Luke Lynch is standing in the penalty box next to Travis Howe. And one of the referees is talking with Connor McDonald, and it looks like Jacksonville's unhappy about something. Maybe the goal got disallowed. Or maybe Jacksonville got a penalty and it doesn't count. It's the Icemen 3 and the Grizzlies nothing. 4:11 is left in the first. So if Lynch is in the box and no Grizzly ended up going in, that would give Jacksonville, the Grizzlies a 5-on-3. Luke Lynch got the assist on the Zach Jordan goal, 15:49 in. As the Icemen have outshot the Grizzlies 16-5, and they also lead the game 3-0. So Howe's in the box for the next minute 10. And counting Jacksonville players, looks like there are 4 on the ice for Jacksonville. So it is going to be 5-on-4. As 2 Icemen are in the penalty box, and I imagine a Grizzly. Looks like a Grizzly is also in the box. So whatever Lynch did and a Grizzly did offsetted each other. As the Icemen win the face-off, they clear it all the way out as Utah's still on the power play. It is a 5-on-4 power play as Connor McDonald gets the puck from Parikh, and he'll nudge it towards the far side. As out to center ice, there's 2 guys in the Jacksonville penalty box, but we can't see the action on the ice. Now the puck gets cleared out to center ice and into the Grizzly zone. You got to be kidding me about this. McDonald to the right side will feed it up top for Tho. The video feed, that is, as Tho crosses center ice. Skates into the right. He enters the zone. Tho will skate towards his left. Back towards McDonald. He'll skate towards the left circle. Takes a shot. Saved by Gahagan. And the Jacksonville goaltender holds on. 30 seconds left in the power play. Dylan Fitz was out in front trying to redirect the McDonald shot. But the former Grizzly held on. Parker Gahagan, who played at Army. That was his college hockey. And so obviously it was one of those unique college experiences that Parker Gahagan had. Speaking of Army, it looked like Army and Navy ended up in overtime this afternoon. And the winner of that game was Army, who in 2 overtimes defeated Navy 20-17. Draws in the left circle. Jacksonville leads 3-0. 3:30 is left in the first. As the draw won by Jacksonville, Jacob Friend will feed it to the far side. Now Jacksonville clears it all the way out. Parikh behind his net. We'll give it to Bryson Martin. Martin takes it. He'll skate down the middle. Martin gets around Christopher Brown out to the far side. He'll drop it back off for Fizer. Tarun crosses center ice. He was reassigned to the Grizzlies earlier today from Colorado. Skates towards the corner, blows a tire. Jacksonville clears it out. Howe's coming out of the penalty box right now. As the Grizzlies are 0-for-1 on the penalty kill, and Jacksonville scored a shorthanded goal while Howe was in the penalty box. As Grizz get it out to the offensive zone, near side as Cam Strong skates towards the corner. Now Strong around the net, wraparound shot, kick saved by Gahagan. Puck still in play. Grizzlies skate towards the near corner, and I'll feed it up top to Martin. Now across lefty shot, and saved by Gahagan as the rebound goes out to the right side. Strong gets it back to Raby. Raby gets it to Jamison in the right circle. Jamison circles the circle and throws it back to the right side. Thomas with a shot, and it goes wide. Rebound goes out towards Panetta. He's in the far corner. Strong zips it around the boards to the right point for Thomas. Corey, the former Idaho Steelhead, skates towards the right corner. He gets double-teamed. Thomas gets pinned in the corner. Strong over there as well. He'll nudge it to Raby in the right circle. Dakota trying to feed it across to Martin. Now, he takes a shot, and that one goes wide. Raby was able to take the shot on the right side. Now, Raby gets the puck back in the right side, and now it's going to be a delayed offside. Jacksonville gets it as Utah will skate back to center ice and make a line change. 2 minutes left in the first. Jacksonville leads 3-0. Icemen will throw it to the left circle. Lefty shot. Saved by Parikh. And Lucas holds on without allowing a rebound. 1:55 is left in the first. Icemen will have an offensive zone draw. They lead 3-0. We'll talk with Guy Carenza, who's hanging out with us in the Grizzlies lobby tonight. And we'll get his perspective on the first period. Certainly a tough one for the Grizzlies. We'll talk about what we saw in that second Jacksonville goal that they went to video replay on and I guess confirmed it on video replay. We thought there might have been a kicking motion there. We'll see what Guy saw there as Jacksonville 2 power play goals and a shorthanded tally. We did think that special teams is going to play a factor in this game. Grizzlies are 0-for-1 on the power play. Simeone will take the draw against Derek Lodermeyer. Simeone 1 goal and 1 assist in 8 games this season. He wins the draw as McDonald will feed it across to Aaron Thoe, who's playing for his third different team this season. He'll lift the puck out to the center ice, and it bounces in the Icemen zone where it's taken by Luke Martin. He gets shadowed by Colatarchi. Colatarchi hits Martin as he goes back to the left point. Thoe skates towards the corner as he gets hit. As Thoe was thinking about throwing a centering pass in but didn't get it off. As Jacksonville feeds it to the right side, they cross center ice. Icemen carry it over to the right circle. They drop it off looking for Martin, and Utah anticipated the play and picked it off. Grizzlies throw it out to center ice. Colatarchi races. He gets it as he skates in onside. He'll chip it around the boards. Robinson in the left corner. He'll skate towards the left point, trying to get it back to Thoe, but he was skating the other way as he goes to center ice. 2-on-3. Ben Howardchuk will dump it in. Howardchuk gets blasted by Bryson Martin. As Martin feeds it across, it looked like Nazarene wanted to get after Martin. 1:05 left in the first as Nazarene and Martin go after each other. Now Nazarene delivers a big hit in the right corner. Now Nazarene once again will skate towards the puck along the near side, and a whistle blows. 56 seconds left in the first period. Jacksonville leads 3-0. I wonder if a penalty was called as the Icemen have outshot the Grizzlies 17-8. As Nazarene got pretty physical, so did Bryson Martin in the Grizzlies zone. As Utah just trying to find a way to get back in this game. Oh, it's going to be a penalty on Utah. Aaron Thoe will go to the box for 2 minutes. So Jacksonville's going to be back on the power play. They've got 2 power play goals tonight. They're 2 for 2 on the man advantage. So it's going to be a penalty kill for the Grizzlies. 56 seconds left in the first. Keaton Jamison will take the draw in the left circle against Derek Lodermeyer. Last game of the road trip for the Grizzlies. Utah wins the draw, but bounces off their stick to the high slot. Now Brown to the right side gets over to Skinner. He fakes a shot, throws to the left side. Martin with a shot, saved by Parikh. Martin to the left point. He battles with Jamison. Jamison hits Martin, but Martin keeps the puck. He'll throw it towards Skinner, who nudges across to the right side. Jacksonville will feed it back towards the left side. I want to break that camera in the corner so they never have to use it again. As Jacksonville to the right side, Christopher Brown skates towards the corner. Throws it back up top for Skinner. He's on the right side. Now to the left for Martin. Martin switches places with Skinner. Martin feeds a pass to Brown. Now across to Skinner. Up top for Martin. Martin will take a righty shot. Glove saved by Parikh. He holds on with 18.4 seconds left in the first. Draw's going to stay in the Grizzlies zone as Lucas Parikh has been active here so far in the first. As he's making up for lost time after missing about 5 or 6 weeks. He has stopped 14 of 17. Parker Gahagan on the Jacksonville side has stopped all 8 he has seen. We'll go over some scores from around the world of sports as well as the ECHL. And we'll talk with Guy Carenza during the first intermission. Luke Lynch will take the draw against Tyler Penner. Penner has played in every game for the Grizzlies this year. I'll make that Cam Strong took the face-off as Jacksonville won it. As the Icemen over to the far side tried to center it. The Grizzlies dove in front of it and were able to clear it out. Good job by the Grizzlies diving in front of the crease to deny a centering pass. 3 seconds left in the first period. That will do it for 20 minutes over at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. As the Icemen got 2 power play goals and a shorty, they lead 3-0. We'll recap all the scoring and recap the first period when we come back. Once again, the score after 20 minutes, Jacksonville 3, Utah 0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by America First Credit Union.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
First intermission over at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and Jacksonville leads Utah 3-0. 2 power play goals and a shorty. It was scoreless through the first 12 minutes of the contest. Joey Colatarchi got a tripping minor, 11:01 into the game. And late in the power play, 12:41 in, Hunter Skinner with a blast from the left circle and a one-timer on a pass from Christopher Brown. It's Skinner's 3rd of the season and 2nd of the series. Grizzlies fans did see that one-timer in use a couple years ago. Skinner scored 7 goals for Utah in 26 games, and most of them came at home, and most of them were kind of in that fashion. Is he somebody that can finish on the power play? Skinner is in the 2nd year of a 3-year NHL entry-level deal with the New York Rangers. He's a former 4th-round pick of New York. Jacksonville got back on the power play after Bryson Martin got a high sticking minor, 13-19 in. So that was just about 30 seconds after Skinner had scored. The Icemen got back on the power play. And I got to say, there's a little bit of controversy to that second goal. As Luke Lynch fed a pass to Hammaker, Jacob Hammaker in the right circle. Hammaker centered it to Nazarene. It was out in front of the net. He was right there near the crease. And Nazarene, saw the pass get low. He couldn't, his stick was somewhere else. So he couldn't get a stick on the pass. So he took his skate, and it looked like he angled the skate in a way to where it would bounce off the skate and end up in the back of the net. Now, was there a kicking motion or not? I guess depends on which side you're looking at it. Jacksonville fans would say there's no kicking motion. I guess if your heart is on the Grizzlies side and you're wanting the Grizzlies to say, you want the Grizzlies to win, you may say, hey, wait a minute. There's a little bit more leg movement than there could have been there to say that there was a kicking motion. They counted the goal. They went to video replay. Guy and I kind of thought there the first time we saw it that there was a kicking motion, but the goal was allowed. And Jacksonville at that point led 2-0. Now it could be up for debate, but obviously that's part of the fun of sports. The Grizzlies got a power play after Travis Howe got a tripping minor, 14:59 in, and exactly halfway through the Grizzlies power play, Jacksonville got a 2-on-2. Luke Lynch fed it to Zach Jordan. Jordan took a shot from the left side, and it bounced off the arm of Lucas Preek and went into the back of the net. Jordan gets his 5th of the season. He's been outstanding in this series. He had 1 goal and 1 assist on Wednesday night. He had an assist on Friday, and now he picks up a shorthanded goal with about 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first. That gave Jacksonville a 3-0 lead. That's where we stand now. Icemen outshot the Grizzlies 17-8 in the first period. The Grizzlies, in all 3 periods of last night's game, had 8 shots in each of the periods. So the Grizzlies with 8 shots here in the first. Utah's 0 for 1 in the power play. Jacksonville's 2 for 3. And remember, they had a shorthanded goal on Utah's lone power play of the game. So it was a pretty tough first period for the Grizzlies. Bryson Martin had 2 shots, and then 6 other Grizzlies had 1 shot. For Jacksonville, 3 shots each for Hunter Skinner, Zach Jordan, 1 of each of their 3 shots found the back of the net. Ben Howarchuk also with 3 shots. Christopher Brown, Derek Lodermeyer with 2 shots, and then a few other Icemen with 1 shot on goal. Parker Gahagan stopped all 8 shots that he saw. Lucas Preek was busy in the first period. He stopped 14 of 17. As we're hanging out with Guy Carenza here in the Grizzlies lobby, and Guy, that second goal, the more I think about it, the more I wonder about whether there was an actual kicking motion or if we were just kind of looking at it more with our hearts than we were what we actually saw. But what did you see there?
Tyson, I mean, I agree with you. I looked at that the first time. Well, the first time I was like, okay, well, maybe we got to look at this a little closer. And we got a pretty good shot at it. We got an angle where we were kind of behind Gahagan in the corner, and we see the puck coming from this far side, moving into the middle, and we see Nazarene kind of lift his skate up. It looked like a kicking motion to me. And I don't mean to knock the refs. There's 2 of them tonight. There's 2 of them tonight, and that's a rare occurrence. So you'd think that they would get this one right. But to me, and I'm not just looking at it as a hockey play, right? textbook hockey play. When you think about a kicking motion, I think that's what we saw. We saw his skate lift up into the air, right? We saw it move not only up into the air, but towards the goal. I don't understand how they can not call that, but they must have seen something that we didn't. I mean, we only get what we get on Flow Sports, but to me, it looked like a textbook kicking motion.
See, I was thinking that too, and then I think that before he touched the puck, just kind of angled his skate in a way where he knew that when it hit the skate, it was going to go into the net. And so because of that, how much leg movement was there? You'd almost have to take 2 or 3 good looks at it to see. Was there a foot movement there to where he kind of nudged it ahead towards the net? I mean, it's hard to say, but it's kind of like a lot of breaks this week that went Jacksonville's way. The Grizzlies right now just could use a break, and unfortunately didn't get it in that situation.
Yeah, Tyson, the Grizzlies could use a break, and we talked about special teams coming into this game. That department has been led by the Icemen. I mean, they've taken full control of the special teams battle. Utah goes 0 for 2 on the PK, right? Jacksonville gets 2 power play goals, one of them being that controversial goal. But I mean, either way, the puck ends up in the back of the Grizzlies' net. So that's 2 goals against on the penalty kill. Not only that, they get their chance on the power play, and they allow a shorthanded goal. Now, I personally don't care what the circumstance is when you're on the power play, you should never allow a shorthanded goal. That just should not happen. So at the case in point, the Grizzlies have not done well in the special teams department, and Jacksonville's making them pay.
There hasn't been a single 5-on-5 goal scored tonight, but Jacksonville with 3 special teams goals, 2 power play tallies, and a shorty. Now, the second period, Jacksonville has been outscored 28-14. Whereas the second period has been Utah's best this season, outscoring their opponents 24-19. So the Grizzlies have been a good second period club, and Jacksonville, who's been good in the first and third periods, have been terrible in the second. So you're in the next 20 minutes, what can the Grizzlies do to find a way to climb back into this game?
Yeah, Tyson, you talk about the Grizzlies being a second period team, and it seems like Jacksonville is statistically a weaker team in the second period. So I think this is the Grizzlies' chance, right? They got to come out. They got to kill this penalty, number 1. They got 1 minute and 4 seconds left on that. But after that, just come out guns blazing. You got to stick it to the Icemen. You can't allow the next goal, that's for sure. And you got to get the next one. So I expect a lot of high-energy plays. And I look to guys like Tarun Fizer. I think Tarun Fizer's had a really good game. He's had a few good looks in his return. And I look at Cam Strong. I think Cam Strong has also had a solid game. You've been mentioning his name all night. He's been making plays. He's been getting to those gritty areas. He's jumping, and he's got some lightning in his skates, as I like to say. So I think this second period will be a high-energy period for the Grizzlies, and it'll be telling as to what kind of team they are.
And looking at the comments, to answer one of those questions, yeah, the Grizzlies do play the Cyclones later this season in March in a 3-game series. I think it's late March at Maverick Center. So the Grizzlies will play Cincinnati later on this season. I'm thinking about this next period, Lucas Preek, considering that, 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal. I mean, it seems like every shorthanded goal is always a breakaway. So that's always something. And the puck bounced off his arm and then ended up in the back of the net. I mean, goalies, I'm sure Tim Broussard, if he's here, he'd probably talk about a technique there that, Preek probably could have done, maybe tucking his arm in or something. But then you talk about 2 power play goals. I mean, Skinner's going to score that goal on just about anybody. And then obviously you had the controversial one that might have been kicked in by Nazarene. I mean, it was kicked in, but whether it was a distinct kicking motion that would have disallowed the goal, they didn't, the 2 referees didn't see it that way. Otherwise, 5-on-5, I think the Grizzlies have done some good things. I think that top forward line, Fizer, Penner, and Walker have some potential. Watch out for Walker if he finds a way to break free in the second period. But a guy, if the Grizzlies are able to score here in the second, who do you think it's going to be?
Tyson, I look to that first line of Fizer, Walker, and Penner. I really like that combination. I think they got some good chemistry. And Johnny Walker's on a 4-game point streak. So I like Johnny Walker. Let's go with him.
Johnny Walker, who's got 6 points in his last 4 games. We'll see what he does here in the second period. When we come back in 1 minute, we'll go over some scores from around the league. Once again, after 1 period, Jacksonville leads Utah 3-0. This is the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Grizzlies looking to mount a comeback in the second period, but before we get to that, let's go over some scores from around the league. 7 minutes to go in the third period. Newfoundland leads Iowa 3-2. Newfoundland is 16-5-1 this season. Iowa is really struggling. They are 4-9-5-1. 12 minutes to go in the third. Maine leads Trois-Rivières 3-1. That big guy, John Parker Jones, that we saw in late November, I saw that he got called up to the AHL, so he's not in the Trois-Rivières lineup. Anthony Beauregard is scoreless. He's been one of their better scorers. Colin Billick has the Trois-Rivières goal as they trail Maine 3-1. Norfolk's got a lead. They're 2-18-1 this season, but we're certainly rooting them on as Jeff Carr, the former Grizzlies assistant, is leading the Admirals. They lead Adirondack 3-2. That game early in the third period. 15 minutes to go in the second. Orlando leads Atlanta 3-1 in a battle of two teams in the South Division. Brad Barone, the former Grizzly goaltender, has stopped 17 of 18. David Tendek, who played for Rapid City last year, is now a member of the Atlanta Gladiators. He has stopped 14 of 17. Orlando 3 and Atlanta 1. That game played at Gas South Arena. Just starting out the second period, Wheeling leads Kalamazoo 3-0. So it looks like Kalamazoo is in a similar predicament that the Grizzlies are in right now. 3-goal deficit heading into the second. First intermission, Greenville leads South Carolina 1-0. Just starting out the second period, Worcester leads Idaho 1-0. You talk about two league powerhouses. Worcester is 16-5-1 this season. Idaho is 15-3-0-1. We're calling that the Cam McGuire series. McGuire, the former Worcester Railer broadcaster, is the reigning league broadcaster of the year. He's now broadcasting for the Idaho Steelheads, and he travels with the team. So you're talking about the Cam McGuire reunion over in Worcester at DCU Center. The Railers lead the Steelheads 1-0. Don't forget, the Steelheads will be at Maverick Center the final 3 days of the 3 games of the regular season. December 28th and then the 30th and 31st, if I remember right. The Steelheads will be at Maverick Center. Don't forget that on New Year's Eve, December 31st, that's going to be a 5 o'clock start. Quinn Ryan, the former Grizzly, fun fact, has the goal for Worcester. Quinn Ryan is off to a great start this season. He's got 9 goals on the year. So Quinn Ryan, who was with the Grizzlies last season, and he had, if I remember right, 11 or 12 goals for Utah. He's got Worcester's goal tonight. So good to see Quinn Ryan doing some good things. He was an outstanding story. He played his college hockey at Liberty. He was just on a tryout deal for training camp before last season, and he was a big contributor to the Grizzlies in the first half of the last season. So Quinn Ryan doing some good things with the Worcester Railers. First intermission, Toledo leads Indy 1-0. It's also a 1-0 score, 6 minutes left in the first. Fort Wayne over Cincinnati. And to answer the comment, the Grizzlies will play Cincinnati in March. I think it's the last weekend of March at Maverick Center, if I remember right. Maybe March 25th, 26th, and 27th. The reason why we got Guy here is to look up those very facts. Cincinnati will take on the Grizzlies late in the regular season. First intermission, no score between Tulsa and Kansas City, and at 7 o'clock, so in about an hour from now, Wichita is at Rapid City. What'd you see about Cincinnati? When did the Grizzlies
it
face
is
the
March
Cyclones?
22nd, 24th, and 25th in March. So late March.
22nd, 24th, and 25th of March, the Grizzlies will take on the Cincinnati Cyclones, who this season have a record of 13-2-2-2 on the year. So Cincinnati doing some good things this season. It seems like Cincinnati is one of the more consistent winners in the league. Well, we got about 3 minutes of real time until we start the second period. Remember that Jacksonville will be on the power play the first minute, 4 seconds, as Aaron Tho got a penalty late in the first period. It seemed like we didn't have a single penalty the first half of the first period, then the penalties just kind of added up in the second half. The Aaron Tho penalty is a slashing minor. Time of that, 1904. Grizzlies are without a couple players due to suspension. Vladislav Mikalchuk serving the second game of a 2-game suspension. And Andrew Nilsson is out serving a 1-game suspension. Remember, he got the slashing minor and the game misconduct late in the first period of last night's game. So really, Guy, the first thing the Grizzlies have got to do in the second period is kill off the penalty and then go to work. See if they can find a way to get that combination of Fizer, Penner, and Walker out there and see if they can generate something offensively.
Yeah, Tyson, I agree with that. But I think on top of that, the Grizzlies, one, need to find a way to get some offensive pressure going and sustained offensive pressure. But number two, they got to find a way to minimize the amount of shots that they're getting on goal against. I mean, Parikh has really had to work a lot tonight. With 17 shots in the first period. I mean, that's putting a man to work, especially after he's been, sidelined for more than a month. So make it easy on him and keep the puck in the offensive zone.
Remember, Parikh took 36 shots from Jacksonville last night. When we come back in 1 minute, we'll have second period action. Jacksonville 3, Utah 0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. As this has been the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by America First Credit Union.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup.
Welcome back to Grizzlies hockey. Second period action underway in about a minute as Jacksonville leads Utah 3-0. The Icemen will be on the power play the first minute 4 of the second period. Looking at some Grizzlies team leaders, Johnny Walker leads Utah with 9 goals this season. Andrew Nilsson, who's out due to a 1-game suspension, leads the club in assists and points with 19 assists and 23 points. The plus-minus leader for the Grizzlies is Zach Sekos, who's currently in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. Second intermission, we'll go over some of the Grizzlies players who are currently in the AHL and give you an update on how they're doing. Cameron Wright's one of those AHL players. He leads the Grizzlies still with 67 shots on goal. Lucas Parikh leads the team in save percentage at .917, and Parikh also leads Grizzlies goaltenders with a 2.62 goals against average. Don't forget, next weekend, the Grizzlies will be home for a 2-game set against the Kansas City Mavericks. Next Saturday is the Teddy Bear Toss, as well as Ugly Sweater Night. We might end up pulling. I think I saw what the ugly sweaters looked like earlier today. I actually think they look pretty good. They actually look a lot better than what you would normally think from an ugly sweater. Like what Jacksonville wore last night, kind of resembled an ugly sweater. But the Grizzlies look like they're going to wear a nice-looking ugly sweater next Saturday. Grizzlies wearing the black jerseys tonight. We're back to live action. Jacksonville wins the face-off. They skate from right to left in the second period. Icemen cross center ice. Now they gain the line from the right point. They try to feed it across to Zach Jordan. It stays in the right point. Jacksonville throws it to the right circle. Now back up top for Skinner. He'll feed it up top for Martin. Luke down the middle. He'll take a righty shot, and it's blocked, and it goes back towards Skinner. Skinner throws it to Jordan on the right side. Jordan back up top for Skinner. But he couldn't reach it as it exits the zone. Puck deep in the Jacksonville zone. Parker Gahagan will skate towards the far corner. He'll feed it across to Martin. Luke skates down the middle, 23 seconds and counting left in the Jacksonville power play as Martin gains the line. On the right side, dumps it in, gets around Thomas and around McDonald. Now Martin will feed it to the right corner. Brown gets it up top to Skinner. Now back to Brown. Right circle and takes a righty shot. On it goes wide. He's looking for a redirection out in front. 5 seconds left in the power play. Corey Thomas gets it, and he'll pitch it out to the Jacksonville zone as Grizzlies make a line change. Good penalty kill by the Grizzlies. Jacksonville still leads 3-0. They've got the puck deep in their own zone. As Luke Martin gets the puck, he skates down the middle, wearing number 7. He was number 44 for the Grizzlies last year. Over to Travis Howe, dumps it in. Howe wearing number 24 for Jacksonville. He was 24 for Utah. Now the puck goes back to Utah, skating towards center ice. Jacksonville will dump it back in. Delayed offside. Grizzlies have it, skating from left to right. They'll throw it to center ice, but the pass is wide of the mark. And no icing, though. It's taken by Tim Theocharidis. He'll get it across to Panetta. Now back to the right corner for Theocharidis. Now ahead, Jacksonville to center ice. Howe dumps it in from the left wing. He chases after it, but instead goes towards the bench at the end of his shift. Utah will get it towards Dylan Fitz along the near wall. Fitz wearing number 13 pitches to Jamison. He'll outlet it to Raby. Now to the left circle. Martin with a shot. And saved by Gahagan. Puck still in play. As I might have gone out of play as everybody stopped skating with 17:59 left in the second. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. The Martin shot was the first taken by Utah in the second period, although unfortunately we didn't really get to see where the shot ended up. And we apologize if you're listening on YouTube, as unfortunately we're at the mercy of what we see on the remote feed, and sometimes we miss some key details. The draw is going to be in the Jacksonville zone. Utah's 9-11 this season, trying to end a 2-game losing skid as they split 2 games against Idaho last week. Grizzlies win the draw as Tho will skate towards the left circle. He gets divorced from the puck. Oh, it might be a penalty as Tho nudged the puck towards the left circle, got around Jacksonville, but he got interfered with. It wasn't much, but it looked like it was just enough to get the call. Jacksonville, if you're rooting for them, 2 minutes for hooking is going to be the call. But, from Jacksonville, that was kind of a touchy call, though. But the Grizzlies will take it as they'll be on the power play for the second time tonight. As hooking is the call. And we'll see who ends up going to the box for Jacksonville. Good job by Aaron Tho, nudging it towards the left circle. And it looks like it's going to be Aaron Nazarene going to the box for Jacksonville as Tho draws a penalty. And we'll see what the Grizzlies power play unit will do here in the second period. Draws in the right circle, and it's won by Jacksonville. Jacob Friend gets cut out along the near wall. Friend gets tripped up. Is that going to be a call? No, it's not. Jacksonville, it is going to be a call. Luke Lynch gets knocked down by Bryson Martin, and just like that, the power play is over. As Luke Lynch was trying to skate out of his zone, and he got tripped up, and that call was made. And it looks like Dakota Raby is going to go to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. So the number 22 for both teams, Nazarene for Jacksonville and Raby for Utah, are in the penalty box. Grizzlies had the power play for 10 seconds, but now we're skating 4-on-4 for a minute 50. Remember, this season the Grizzlies have scored 4 goals in a 4-on-4 situation, and they've allowed 2. So maybe this is an opportunity for the ice to open up and the Grizzlies to utilize their speed. Jacksonville wins the draw. Jacob Friend in the left point will feed it up top as the Icemen lead 3-0 as Victor Hadfield will curl on the right point. Now feed it back towards the right side as Hadfield skates towards his left. As Jacksonville gets to the right circle, righty shot, saved by Preek. Grizzlies get the rebound and start skating north-south. Fizer crosses center ice. He'll pitch it out to the right side for Walker. Walker in the corner, trying to drop it back off for Fizer, skated towards the near boards. Now Walker and Fizer battling in the corner with an Iceman. As Fizer around the net, overskates the puck, and Victor Hadfield will take it. Hadfield will skate north-south, still in his own zone, and so he'll be patient with his approach as Johnny Walker will come off for a change. Iceman cleared out to center ice, all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone, left corner. As Jacksonville gets pushed down, Utah takes the puck. Martin over to Penner. He'll get it across to Fitz. Fitz skates in 3-on-3. Fitz left wing shot, saved by Gahagan. And he holds on. 54 seconds left in the 4-on-4 as the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. 16:44 left in the second period. It looks like the Fitz shot is the first official one taken by the Grizzlies in the second period. Jacksonville has yet to take a shot officially on Parker Gahagan in the second. So Nazarene's in the box for Jacksonville and Dakota Raby in there for Utah. Draw, I believe, is going to be in the left circle, and it is. Utah wins the faceoff, skating 4-on-4. As Kyle Pouncey skates towards the right corner, gets hit, and Jacksonville trying to box the puck away, but Pouncey gets it, and he'll feed it off the far wing boards. Taken by Fitz just outside the left circle. Shot, saved by Gahagan. Rebound goes to the left corner. Fitz tried to get it, but Jacksonville got there first as the Icemen. Brandon Harris will feed it across to Panetta. Panetta will skate behind his net, and now he'll start the attack. So he'll skate north-south. He crosses center ice. He'll chip it to the left side. Now lefty shot, Theo Cheris. It goes wide. As it goes back towards the Ben Howardchuk in the right corner. Howardchuk pushes a Grizzly. And it looks like maybe another penalty's been called. 18 seconds left in the 4-on-4. There was a one-on-one battle in the right corner, and then play stopped. As we'll see if there's another penalty or try to figure out why play stopped. As looks like they've called it tight. There wasn't a single penalty in the first 11 minutes of the game, and it seems like they've called it pretty tight since then. So it looks like Utah does get a penalty. Christian Simeone gets 2 minutes on the score bug on Flow Sports. So Simeone broke a hockey rule, and Jacksonville's going to be on a 4-on-3 power play for 18 seconds. And then after that, Nazarene comes out of the box. And then Jacksonville will have 11 seconds worth of a 5-on-3 and then a 5-on-4 power play for a minute and a half after Raby comes out of the box. There's going to be a quiz on all that during the second intermission. Jacksonville wins the faceoff. They lead 3-0. Skinner, left side shot, blocked by Thomas. Thomas had to wear that one as it goes towards the near side. Nazarene stands up in the penalty box as Utah clears it out. Good job by Corey Thomas blocking the shot as Gahagan skates towards the far corner to drop it. And he'll give it to Luke Martin as Nazarene is out of the box. 7 seconds left of a 5-on-3 as Martin will cross center ice. He'll feed it to his left. Now Lodermeyer will skate towards the right side. He'll get it to the right point. Now out of the box is Raby. We're skating 5-on-4. Raby joins the play as Martin will get it across to Skinner. Hunter on the right side skates towards the circle. Takes a righty shot. Saved by Gahagan. Rebound out in front. Preet goes down. Jacksonville hacks away. Puck goes to the left corner. Now up top for Martin. He'll fire a righty wrist shot. Saved by Parikh. Puck goes to Raby, and he'll feed it across. This pass is picked off as Raby was looking for Penner. Now Penner gets it back and clears it out. Halfway through Jacksonville's power play as Martin skates around his net as he gets back checked by his former Michigan teammate. Raby took it away from him as Raby was also a teammate with Martin with the Grizzlies last year. Jamison left circle trying to get it back to Raby. Christopher Brown took it away. Now Brown battles with Jamison in the corner. Lodermeyer gets it. He'll nudge it ahead. As Jacksonville crosses center ice, now they gain the line. Harris skates towards the right corner. Grizzlies get there first. Colatarchi couldn't corral the bouncing puck. Now it goes back to Martin. Bryson will feed a left wing pass that bounces off the far boards and run down by Luca Hanno. Hanno wearing number 28. He'll get it to Harris. Harris skates down the middle across the center ice. He'll feed a right wing pass. Now Jacksonville will skate towards the right circle. Now around the net. Jacksonville still with the puck. They're now on the left side as they drop it off for Hanno. He'll get it across off the boards to the right circle. 10 seconds left in the power play as Jacksonville skates towards the far goal line. They survey. They'll feed it towards the net. Now Jacksonville along the goal line will pitch it back to the right point, but the puck clears all the way out. Simeone's out of the penalty box. Good job by the Grizzlies penalty kill. As Gahagan over in the right corner has been out of his net quite a bit here tonight. Now Harris out to the left side. His pass is picked off. Fizer tried to nudge it ahead, but Jacksonville's Harris poked it away. Harris to the left side skates towards the corner. Martin gets to the puck first. Bryson, that is. And Howe collides with Penner in the left corner. Now Jacksonville feeds it back to the right side. They're in the offensive zone. Lefty shot, and that goes wide. And the Grizzlies skate towards the near boards as Johnny Walker over to the corner. He collides with Howe. Now Jacksonville spin along the right side. They're still in the offensive zone as Hanno with a lefty shot. Saved by Parikh. As Hanno took a shot from the right wing, and Parikh was able to make a nice glove stop. 3-0 Jacksonville. Time out of the ice. 13:31 left in the second. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
It's Jacksonville 3, Utah nothing. Neither team has scored so far in the second period. Jacksonville got first period goals from Aaron Nazarene, Zach Jordan, and Hunter Skinner. Not necessarily in that order. Skinner scored first, then Nazarene, followed by Jordan. 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal for Jacksonville. Nobody has scored a 5-on-5 goal here tonight. Draw in the Grizzlies zone is won by Utah. It's behind Utah's net and over in the near corner as the Icemen. Travis Howe will throw it to Theo Charitas. He gets tripped up, no call. As Joey Colatarchi crosses center ice right wing, he'll drive it off the boards on the left side. Bouncing puck taken by Panetta, and he'll nudge it back towards the near side as Jacksonville skates from right to left as we see it on Flow Sports. As the Icemen skate into the right circle, look to center it, and it glances off a Hadfield stick. Now Jacksonville gets pushed down by Neil Robinson, and the puck glides towards Parikh, who holds on. Travis Howe in the area, wants to find somebody. He pushes Colatarchi. Good job by the Grizzlies protecting Parikh. Cam Strong over there as well. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Lucas Parikh has held strong. He hasn't allowed a 5-on-5 goal here so far tonight. He has stopped 19 of 22. As the Icemen have outshot the Grizzlies 5-2 here so far in the second period. Dylan Fitz and Bryson Martin have 2 shots each for Utah, and then a few other Grizzlies have 1 shot on goal. And even 13 minutes left in the second period. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Utah got Tarun Fizer back today as he was reassigned from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Jamison will take the draw for Utah. Jacksonville has Luke Lynch taking the face-off. Face-off won by Jacksonville as Hanno will skate towards the right side, being shadowed by Raby. Hanno gets it kicked away by Raby. Raby's stick goes flying as the puck exits back into the Jacksonville zone. Martin throws it to center ice, taken away by Utah. As curling up is Jamison. He'll lift it over the head of Fitz. Now Raby battles along the near boards. Raby goes down as he hit Hanno. As Jacksonville trying to clear it out, it stays into the Jacksonville zone. As Fitz Raby behind the net, along with a couple Icemen, as Luke Lynch will throw it towards the far side. Now it gets kicked back to the Grizzlies' offensive corner as Jamison feeds it back up top to the left point. Grizzlies with a lefty shot. Now it glanced off the stick and goes out of play with 12:19 left in the second. Grizzlies are 1-3 on this current road trip. They split 2 games against Jacksonville last week. This past Wednesday, Jacksonville defeated Utah 5-2 in the series opener. Last night, Johnny Walker scored a second period goal, but Jacksonville got a 4-1 victory. Icemen in the second periods this season have been outscored 28-14. So this could be a golden opportunity for the Grizzlies to find a way to get back in this game. As Jacksonville skates along the offensive zone, as they won the faceoff, they dump it into the corner. Christopher Brown over there, Grizzlies behind their net. Will feed it to the near side for Walker. Walker gets blasted. He'll feed it out to Penner. Now Penner will drive it into the Jacksonville zone. Icing is called. Tarun Fizer thinks that he had won the foot race, but icing on the Grizzlies with 11:59 left in the second. Draw's going to come back towards Lucas Perique, who last night made his first start since November 1st. Perique last night stopped 33 of 36. So far tonight, he has stopped 19 of 22. But remember, the 3 goals that he has allowed tonight, 2 power play goals and a shorty. And usually shorthanded opportunities or breakaways about 85% of the time. As a draw, going to be in the left circle. Taken by Brandon Harris of Jacksonville, but it's won by Tyler Penner of Utah. Back towards the right side, Jacksonville pitching out towards Carson Denomey. He loses the puck as Kyle Pouncey did a good job along the boards. Fizer over to Penner. He dumps it in. Fizer chases after it, and Johnny Walker delivers a hit. As Jacksonville will nudge it ahead. As they dish it out to center ice, Christopher Brown dumps it in, but not all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. As Denomey, the referee, is in the way. The Grizzlies come out with the puck as Fizer crosses center ice and dumps it into the right corner. Bounces off the wall. Gahagan will feed it towards the near side. Grizzlies trying to gather it, but it bounced off their stick, and Jacksonville will skate around their own net as Hunter Skinner, strong with the puck, and he'll throw it out to the right side. Harris delivers a hit as the puck squirts into the Grizzlies zone. Utah chasing after, and it's Connor McDonald. Connor will feed it out to center ice looking for Cole Tarchi. Pass goes wide of him as the Icemen feed it back towards neutral ice, out towards center. It gets kicked back to Grizzlies territory as Nazarene gets held up by Simeone. Puck driven into the Grizzlies zone. Perique behind his net will give it to McDonald. Connor skates in front of his net and out to the far side. Grizzlies get it across to the right as Cam Strong enters the zone, skates towards the right circle. The puck gets nudged to the corner. Strong gets divorced from the puck, and Simeone back to the left corner, throws it up top, left point. Grizzlies try to keep it in, and it doesn't. As it goes deep into the Grizzlies zone, Perique to the right of his net will get it. He'll throw an outlet pass to Jamison. He'll feed it into the Jacksonville territory for Fitz, looking for Raby. Fitz enters the zone, will drive it to the corner. As Jamison gets hit, Raby skates along behind the net. He overskates the puck. Now Raby gets it. As he skates towards the far side, he avoids the check, gets it to Fitz. Dylan trying to get it across to Martin, but it kicked off the skate. Now Martin gets it back. Bryson, that is, of the Grizzlies. Both teams have a Martin. Luke played for the Grizzlies last year. Now left point, Grizzlies with a righty shot on it. Deflects off a body and goes wide and out of play. 10:01 is left in the second period, so we're halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes. Jacksonville leads 3-0. Hunter Skinner got a power play goal, 12:41 into the first period. And then Jacksonville got another power play goal as Era Nazarene scored 14:36 in. And then just over a minute later, when the Grizzlies were on a power play, Zach Jordan got his 5th of the year shorthanded. Jacksonville has outshot Utah 5-2 here in the second period and 22-10 in the contest. Draws in the left circle. It's taken and won by Penner of the Grizzlies. Now Pouncey to the right side will fire towards the net. Glanced off the stick and goes back to Jacksonville as they'll feed it ahead. Jacksonville will carry it out to center ice. It's Ben Howardchuck at center. Dumps it in. He gets hit by Penner as Preet behind his net. We'll give it to a defenseman. Now it kicks over to the near side. Howardchuck trying to locate it. Walker in the area. Jacksonville skates towards the left circle. Righty shot. Saved by Preet. Martin around the net. He gets hit by Lynch, but Martin keeps the puck. Fizer skates over there trying to get it back. Now goes to Penner on the right side. So backhand it out to Fizer. Carries it out to center ice. 2-on-3. Trying to dump it in, but it hits off of Hunter Skinner for Jacksonville. He'll bounce it off the near glass as it goes over the head of Fizer. As Brown will have a kick over towards the Jacksonville blue line. Grizzlies skate in. Walker toe drag shot. Saved by Gahagan. Rebound out to the right side as the Grizzlies. Walker will feed it up top. Slot shot. Saved by Gahagan. The whistle blows as there's some action out in front of the net as Cam Strong in a one-on-one battle. As Gahagan made the save with 9:07 left in the second period. Timeout on the ice. Jacksonville still leads 3-0. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Jacksonville leads 3-0. Nobody has scored here so far in the second period. Grizzlies this year have outscored the opposition 24-19, and Jacksonville has been outscored in the second period 28-14. During the second intermission, we'll go over some of the Grizzlies players that are currently in the AHL and give you an update on how they're doing. Draws in the Jacksonville zone. Utah wins it. Jordan Stone tried to feed it ahead to Simeone. It bounced off the end wall. Simeone in a one-on-one battle with Jacksonville as the Icemen. Brendan Harris trying to clear it out. Simeone kept it in. Grizzlies skate towards the left circle, and Martin with a shot saved by Gahagan. Rebound goes out to the near side. The puck ends up clearing out to center. Stone will feed it back to Martin. Stone will skate back towards his own zone as well, as Martin will drift it ahead towards center ice. Passes wide of the mark as Jacksonville fanned on a pass as the puck stays in their own zone. Now Jacob Friend gets hit by Robinson. 2-on-2 battle in the corner. Robinson hacking away. Skinner of Jacksonville over there holding up a Grizzly skater. Now a third Iceman has joined the play in the corner as Robinson getting held up by Friend. Puck squirts towards the point. Jacksonville has the puck. Icemen skate towards the right side. They're onside. Icemen skate towards the right circle. They're trying to feather it out in front, but there was no passing angle, so they just went around the net. Now we got a whistle as the Grizzly goes down. The arm is raised by the referee. It looks like the Grizzlies are going to go on the power play with 8:10 left in the second period. This could be an opportunity for the Grizzlies to get back in this one. You think about over the last 14 games, the Grizzlies coming into play tonight, 20 for 67 on the power play. That's 29.8%. And 14 games, that's not necessarily a small sample size. Of course, right as the whistle blew and we're trying to assess what happened, the arm is raised by the referee. 4 minutes. Looks like double minor for high sticking. As Christopher Brown must have drawn blood as he's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. So it's going to be a 4-minute penalty for Jacksonville as Brown is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. This will be a golden opportunity for the Grizzlies to get on the board. And watch out for Tarun Fizer. He's got 2 power play goals this season, as well as Johnny Walker, who leads the club with 5 power play goals. Walker will take the face-off. He's got Raby to his right, who's got a point in 6 of his last 7 games. Jacksonville wins the face-off, and they clear it all the way out. Parikh will get it off the end wall behind his net, and he'll give it to Bryson Martin. Remember, Andrew Nilsson serving a 1-game suspension. He leads the league in power play points and power play assists. Drops it off. Grizzlies cross center. Raby skates in from the left side. Drops it off for Martin. They'll spin it over to the right corner. Walker delivers a hit with Theo Charitis. As Walker now pinned on the boards. Now goes to Fizer, right side. He'll feed it up top to Martin. Now across to Raby. Right side takes a shot. He scores! Dakota Raby gets his 4th of the year as the Grizzlies get a power play goal as they've gotten on the board with 7:36 left in the second. Raby was all alone on the right side and found the right angle to get it past a good goaltender in Parker Gahagan. So if it is a double minor for high sticking, I think Brown stays in the box and he'll stay in for 2 minutes. So it's a power play goal for the Grizzlies. It's now a 3-1 game. That's right. There's now 2 minutes left on a Grizzlies power play as the first half of the double minor is capitalized with a goal. As Raby was to the right side and just kind of snuck it past Parker Gahagan. Didn't get it up, didn't get down, just got through him. Just kind of how it looked like. Draw's going to be at center ice. Grizzlies get on the board. Let's see if they can get on the board again. 3-1 Jacksonville. Icemen win the face-off, and they throw it all the way out towards Lucas Perique. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see it on Flow Sports. In your mind's eye, see it on Mixler. Martin and Fizer got the assist on the Raby goal. Time of it, 12:24 in. Grizzlies skate back into the offensive zone. Raby in the left side. Skates towards the corner. He gets double-teamed. It gets knocked down. Friend delivers a hit. Now Cam Strong hits Friend as Raby's still on the ice. Jacksonville is able to clear it out. Raby gets back to his feet, luckily. 1:30 is left in the Jacksonville power play. Grizzlies will have to reset. Martin in neutral ice crosses center. Right side drops it off, but nobody was there. And now it glides to Fizer. Now across to Raby. Raby enters the zone, feeds it to the left side. Left point, Grizzlies will wrap it around the boards. Walker on the right side cuts it off. Gets it back towards Raby, but it feeds towards the left corner. Jacksonville clears it out. Good job by Luke Lynch skating over there. As Grizzlies back deep in their own zone, both teams make a line change. 1:03 is left in the power play. The second part of the double minor for high sticking. Grizzlies capitalized in the first half with Dakota Raby's 4th of the year. Utah crosses center ice. Martin will drive it around the boards. Gahagan couldn't cut it off as it goes to the right corner. Grizzlies battling. Robinson out in the ice, but Jacksonville clears it out. McDonald chases after it on the left side. As a puck deep in the Grizzlies zone. Connor, the Grizzlies captain, gets it. He'll skate down the middle. He'll feed a right wing pass to Penner at center ice. Penner crosses center. Now he gains the blue line as he dumps into the corner. Robinson delivers a hit of Luke Martin as Fitz over in the corner along with Aaron Tho as Jacksonville will feed it out towards the slot to Luke Martin, who clears it out. Jacksonville's penalty kill pretty strong here in the second half of the double minor as McDonald gets the puck. He'll skate down the middle. Now he'll veer off to the left. Gets around a skater, crosses center ice. Now he chips it in. Gahagan lets it go to the right corner. As it looked like he was communicating well with his Jacksonville teammates. Icemen clear it out again. As Perique behind his net will get the puck. And Lucas will drift it over to the far side. Out of the box is Christopher Brown. Good penalty kill by Jacksonville in the second half of it. But the Grizzlies with a power play goal. 5.5 minutes left here in the second period. As Grizz will throw it into Jacksonville territory. Icemen race after it, but it's going to be icing on the Grizzlies as they dumped it in from Grizzlies territory. 5:23 left in the second. Dakota Raby got Utah on the board, 12:24 in, with Bryson Martin and Tarun Fizer getting the assists. It's Fizer's 3rd assist of the season and also the 3rd assist for Bryson Martin. And Dakota Raby now has a point in 7 of his last 8 games. Raby was the runner-up for the league's Player of the Week award when the Grizzlies took on Trois Rivières for a 3-game series on Thanksgiving weekend at Maverick Center. So Raby's been an outstanding player, starting with that Lions series. And he's had 3 really good weeks with Utah. Draw won by Jacksonville. They're in the offensive zone. They skate towards the right wing boards. Kyle Pouncey delivers a hit, trying to take the puck away. And it squirts towards Simeone in the slot. He'll drift it out to center ice for Dylan Fitz, who dumps it in. As Jacksonville will glide it along the boards. Christopher Brown battling with Pouncey. Now it goes towards Harris, trying to get it back towards Brown. Grizzlies dump it back in where it's taken by Harris, who skates around his own net. Less than 5 minutes left in the second period. 3-1 Jacksonville. Cole Tarchi will lift it towards the left corner. It's cut off by Gahagan, who skated out of his net to make sure it didn't hit off the wall. As Jacksonville crosses center ice, big-time collision, no call. Now the puck into the Grizzlies zone. Right wing shot. Saved by Perique. He holds on with 4:41 left in the second. Timeout on the ice will take one as well. It's the Icemen 3 and the Grizzlies 1. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. It's the Icemen 3 and the Grizzlies 1 as Dakota Raby found the back of the net 12:24 into the second period. So it's kind of like just what the doctor ordered, just get the Grizzlies a power play, and they've got a power play goal in each of the 3 games in this series. Utah is 1 for 4 on the power play. Jacksonville is 2 for 5. In order to, the Christian Simeone, remember he got a penalty 3:52 in, but it was a bench minor, too many men on the ice. So that's why Jacksonville had the power play earlier on in the second period. As the Grizzlies get it, and they'll toss ahead for Johnny Walker as the puck's at neutralized. Walker crosses center right wing, feeds it across looking for Fizer, but the pass is behind him. Fizer gets it off the far boards. He'll skate towards his right. Now he skates north-south right side. He'll throw a rink-wide pass to the left, back towards the slot for Walker. He gets picked off by Jacob Friend as the Grizzlies. Walker will throw it to the right corner in the Jacksonville zone. As Penner gets hit, puck ends up along the near wall. Battling, Fizer, Penner fits over there. Aaron Tho's surveying as Fizer tried to nudge it to Tho, and he does. Tho with a lefty shot, and it gets blocked. Grizzlies they try to feather it out in front of Fizer, who's cutting down the middle, and the pass is wide. Friend over towards Nazarene, who gets it out to center ice and glides towards Lodermeyer, gets around a skater. Lodermeyer with a shot. Parikh dives. Now Lodermeyer to the right side takes a shot, and it goes wide on Parikh. Puck bounced off the glass, stays in play. It's at neutral ice. As Hanno over to the left side, gets hit by Penner. As Jacksonville skate towards their bench now, nudge it to the right side. Centering pass towards Howe. He feeds it to the left corner. Howe chases after it himself. Lynch back towards Howe. He vacated the corners. It goes to Hanno. His shot bounces off of Walker. Goes back to Howardchuk. And so throw it to the left point. Hanno will fire a shot that goes wide as it hit off the board near the Bauer sign. Back to the right point. About 3 minutes left in the second period. Jacksonville skates towards the right corner, gets tripped up. Now they throw it up top. Across to Hanno, left side. He'll feed the middle. Now back up top to the high slot. Martin with a shot, and it goes wide. Grizzlies will bounce it off the near boards. Hanno kept it in. Martin in the right point. Will feed it to Zach Jordan. He'll take a righty shot. Glove saved by Parikh. He holds on with 2:50 left in the second period. Lucas Parikh in his first 5 games of the season displayed a really good glove. It looks like that good glove has been to good use here tonight, as he's one of the more talented 21-year-old goaltenders you'll see. Former third-round pick of the LA Kings. He's a guy that's got a bright future. Second-year pro. He spent last season with the Rapid City Rush and played against the Grizzlies quite a bit. In fact, he had 2 shutouts against the Grizzlies last year. And he's in his second year as a pro, and despite missing about a month, looks like he's pretty sharp. Grizzlies win the face-off, and they throw it out to center ice. Taken back by Jacksonville as the Icemen, who have been outscored 1-0 here in the second period and 29-14 for the season, back it out deep in their own zone. 2.5 minutes left in the second period. Icemen have taken 26 shots to the Grizzlies 14. As the Icemen still behind their own net, they can stay there for about 2.5 minutes if they want. As the Icemen now start the attack right side, cross center ice, try to dump it in. McDonald cut it off before it got to the corner. Jacksonville centers it out in front. They couldn't handle it. Now they throw it back up top to the high slot. As they play catch, Panetta gets on the right side. He fakes a shot, skates towards the middle. Now he feeds to the right circle. Jacksonville will skate towards their left as the Icemen. Howardchuk, left side, will wrap it around the boards. Grizzlies doing a good job packing up the middle, not letting Jacksonville get the centering feed in. Now Raby at neutral ice, crosses into the zone, drops it off, looking for McDonald. Now gets the Fitz, back to Raby. He takes a lefty shot. Glove saved by, or actually it was a blocker saved by Gahagan. As Raby tried to go stick side, Gahagan holds on as we get a whistle with 1:49 left in the second. And after the play, a little bit of pushing and shoving as Ben Howardchuk has Keaton Jamison by the shirt. And it looks like Jacob Panetta wanting to push Jamison as well. Panetta, one of those guys, he had the controversial moment last season, and he got a second chance from Jacksonville. And he's in his second year with the Icemen. Draw's going to be in the Jacksonville zone as the Grizzlies up to 15 shots. They had 8 in the first and have taken 7 so far here in the second. Last night, the Grizzlies had 24 shots on goal. They took 8 shots in each of the 3 periods of last night's game. So they're averaging about 8 shots per game this series. Taking the draw is Tyler Penner in the Grizzlies offensive zone. Utah wins it. They feed the middle, and Jacksonville picks it off. Hunter Skinner will throw it to the far side. Now Jacksonville tries to dump it in. It bounced off a body. Jacksonville right wing shot saved by Parikh as it goes to the right corner. Hadfield around the net gets knocked down by Utah as Grizzlies. Hadfield wearing number 4, trying to get over to Harris, but kept the puck and spins it from one corner to the other. Taken by Brown. He'll throw it to the right side. Righty shot. And looks like Parikh makes the save. I don't know how he made that one. Kind of a tough angle. Parikh somehow made the glove stop with 1:22 left in the second. During the second intermission, we'll go over some scores from around the world of sports. We'll give you an update on where some of the Grizzlies are in the AHL, as there's currently 5 forwards and 1 defenseman who are currently in the AHL. And we'll give you an update on them. Tarun Fizer, if you joined us late, was reassigned from the AHL's Colorado Eagles to the Grizzlies. Fizer picked up an assist on the Dakota Raby goal, 12:24 into the second period. It's 3-1 Jacksonville. Utah wins the face-off. Dylan Fitz will pitch it past Jacob Friend as it goes to neutral ice. And all the way down deep into the Jacksonville zone. Arm is raised by the referee, and icing is called on the Grizzlies. 1:11 is left in the second period. There's 2 referees and 2 linesmen tonight. The league before the season decided that in about 25% of their games, they were going to have 2 referees. So it's almost like a fourth of the games. Although I think for the Grizzlies, this may be the first or second time we've seen 2 referees in a game all season. Obviously, the Grizzlies a little bit more on the West Coast with Idaho, and it's possible we'll see the 2 referees a little bit less than some of the other teams out east. We don't have nearly as much to travel. Jacksonville wins the draw a little bit more than 1 minute left in the second period. Martin from the left point feeds to the right corner. Grizzlies get it back to Martin. He'll pitch it ahead to Fitz along the near wall. Fitz, as Jacksonville complains, as Luke Martin thought he got hit with a high stick. Fitz gets it back. He collides with Martin. Fitz lifts it high into the air, neutralized. Jacksonville took a strange bounce into the Icemen zone. Keaton Jamison feeds it towards Raby. He couldn't get a shot off as he went on 2 knees. Jacksonville gets it back. 2-on-1. Icemen skate towards the right circle. Takes a shot. Saved by Parikh. Rebound squirts out to the left side. Jacksonville couldn't convert on a second chance. Martin will feed it ahead, but it's going to be icing as Martin's pass was incomplete with 32.1 seconds left in the second. It's the Icemen 3 and the Grizzlies 1, but Utah has outscored Jacksonville 1-0 here in the second period. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the third. Obviously, a lot of teams do a good job protecting leads heading into the third, and Jacksonville's got the 2-goal advantage. There hasn't been a single 5-on-5 goal being scored in this game. Jacksonville 2 power play goals and a shorthanded tally in the first period. The Grizzlies' goal was on a power play in the first half of a double minor for high sticking. Jacksonville wins the draw in the offensive zone. They feed it back to the right corner, and Martin picks it off. He'll get it over to Raby. Dakota will lift it high into the air between the Jacksonville defensemen. Jacksonville will race back into their own good zone to get it, but a good job by Raby not throwing it too hard to get another icing. Jacksonville will throw it out to center ice. Pass doesn't connect. Parikh behind his net. No icing on the play. 6 seconds left in the period. They'll get it across to Martin. Outlet pass to center ice. Grizzlies connect. Out towards the slot, driving off to Penner. I looked for a shot, but time runs out on the Grizzlies in the second period. As Utah outscored Jacksonville 1-0 in the second. But the Icemen still have a 2-goal lead as they led 3-0 after 1. The score after 2 periods, it's the Jacksonville Icemen 3 and the Utah Grizzlies 1. We'll recap the first 2 periods when we come back in 2 minutes, as it's the Siegfried and Jensen intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Second intermission over at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida. Temperature today in Jacksonville was about 80 degrees. Here in the Salt Lake Valley, it's about 41 degrees and probably a little bit windy and a little bit chilly. But right now the heat is all on the ice. Jacksonville leads 3-1. That was a lame line. We'd probably start this segment all over again. So I'm hanging out with Guy Carenza. I didn't even know what I was saying. I was just saying it's a warm day in Jacksonville. The Icemen took a 3-0 lead in the first period, all of them on the special teams. Hunter Skinner got a power play goal, 12:41 in. Christopher Brown and Luke Martin with the assists. It was a one-timer from the left circle. Hunter Skinner did that a couple years ago with the Grizzlies. He had 7 goals in 26 games, and a few of those in a very similar situation to how he scored 12:41 in. Then Jacksonville got on another power play, and Aaron Nazarene kicked the puck in. That's right, it was kicked in. There's no debate as to whether it was kicked in because it certainly hit off of his skate and ended up in the back of the net. Now, whether he kicked it in himself, whether it was a deliberate kicking motion, or did he just simply angle his skate in a position before he hit the puck to where when it hit his skate, it ended up angling towards the back of the net? Hard to say, but they counted the goal. Hammaker and Luke Lynch with the assist. That means Jacob Hammaker finally on the board for this season. It's his 15th game of the year, and he finally gets a point. He gets an assist on the Nazarene goal, 14:36 in, and then a minute and a half later, the Grizzlies got on a power play after Travis Howe got a tripping minor, 14:59 into the first. And then halfway through the Grizzlies power play, Jacksonville got a shorthanded tally. Zach Jordan, his 5th of the year. Luke Lynch with the assists. So Lynch with 2 first-period assists for Jacksonville. It's the 3rd shorthanded goal allowed by the Grizzlies this season, as Jacksonville has a shorthanded goal in back-to-back games. Jacksonville outshot Utah 17-8 in the first period, and the Icemen led 3-0 after one. The Grizzlies have been a good second-period team, and Jacksonville has really struggled in the second periods this season, and that continued on as the Grizzlies got on a power play, as Christopher Brown got a high-sticking double minor penalty. So it was a 4-minute penalty, and the Grizzlies in the first half of the double minor got a goal with Dakota Raby, and it was early in the first half of the double minor as he was all alone in the right circle and didn't shoot it high, didn't shoot it low, just got it through the arm of Parker Gahagan and into the back of the net. Raby gets his 4th of the year. He now has a point in 7 of his last 8 games. The assist went to Bryson Martin and Tarun Fizer. Both guys got their 3rd assist of the season. Lucas Preek has stopped 24 of 27. He hasn't allowed a 5-on-5 goal yet here tonight. Parker Gahagan has stopped 14 of 15. If the Gahagan name sounds familiar, he was Utah's starting goaltender for the second half of the 2020-2021 season. He has stopped 14 of 15, and Utah's lone goal is a power play tally. So there hasn't been a single 5-on-5 goal scored tonight as Jacksonville leads 3-1. It's also a 3-1 score after 2 periods as the Cam McGuire Bowl at DCU Arena. Idaho leads Worcester 3-1. We say Cam McGuire because he used to broadcast games for Worcester. Now he's with Idaho, and he's traveling with Idaho to Worcester for the weekend. Idaho got second period goals from Owen Hedrick, Patrick Kudla, and Ryan Domowski. In fact, Domowski's got 1 goal and 2 assists tonight. Patrick Kudla has 1 goal and 1 assist, and that's the same case for Owen Hedrick. As Worcester led 1-0 after 1. Former Grizzly Quinn Ryan got his 9th goal of the season. It was a power play tally. Idaho is 2 for 3 on the power play. Worcester is 1 for 2. The Steelheads are 15-3-0-1 this season, and they lead the 16-5-1 Worcester Railers 3-1 after 2 periods. Greenville and South Carolina are tied at 1 late second period. Second intermission, Wheeling leads Kalamazoo 5-0. Second intermission, Atlanta gets 3 goals in the second period. They lead Orlando 4-3. Orlando is goaltended by Brad Barone. And Bonesaw stopped 33 of 37 David Tendek for Atlanta has stopped 20 of 23. Norfolk gets their third win of the season as Jeff Carr's unit defeats Adirondack 6-4. Good to see Norfolk back on the winning ways. Former Grizzly Eric Williams had one goal and was a +3 for Norfolk in the victory as Adirondack falls to 5-10, 3-1 on the season. Maine over Trois Rivières 4-2, and in overtime, Newfoundland defeats Iowa 4-3. That's the second straight night that ended in overtime, and the second straight night where Newfoundland picked up the victory as they go to 17-5-1 this season. Looks like Walker got the game winner for Newfoundland, 124 into the extra session. Other games in the league, second intermission, Toledo leads Indy 3-0. Halfway through the second period, Fort Wayne leads Cincinnati 2-0. After one period, Tulsa leads Kansas City 1-0. As Tulsa got a goal from Jimmy Soper with Jackson Leaf and Mike McKee getting the assist. That goal was scored 3.5 minutes into the game. Remember, the Kansas City Mavericks will be at Maverick Center next Saturday and Sunday, December 17th and 18th. Kansas City is currently 8-2 on the season, while Tulsa is 6-7-5. And the game starting out in about 15 minutes from now. Wichita is at the red-hot Rapid City Rush, who have won 6 in a row. Rapid City is 9-1 in their last 10 games. Wichita is off to a good start this season. They are 11-8-2 as that game is going to take place at the Monument. I think the temperature in Rapid City is somewhere around 30 degrees, which is a little bit surprising for this time of year. We'll get to Guy Carenza here in a couple minutes, but let's get to some scores from around the world of sports. In 2 overtimes in college football, Army defeated Navy 20-17. Jacksonville goaltender Parker Gahagan attended Army, and he played hockey there and has some of the school records for goaltenders while he was at Army. So he has to be happy that Army got the overtime victory 20-17. In college basketball, BYU takes on Creighton at 8 o'clock. Creighton is ranked 21st in the country. BYU is 5-5. And the NBA, 8 games tonight. None of them have gone final. After the third quarter, Pacers lead the Brooklyn Nets 100-95. After 3 quarters, the Clippers lead the Wizards 86-84. And starting up in about 10 minutes from now, the Jazz are at the Denver Nuggets. Utah is 15-13 this season, 2 games over 500. Denver is 15-10. 8 games in the NHL tonight. 3 of them have gone final. Tampa Bay over Florida 4-1. In overtime, the Dallas Stars defeat Detroit 3-2. And Ottawa over Nashville 3-2. Second intermission, tied at 3, Calgary and Toronto in a battle of 2 teams from Canada. The Maple Leafs are 17-5-6 this season. The Calgary Flames are 13-11-3. Also after 2 periods, the Kings lead the Canadiens in a rematch of the 1993 Stanley Cup Finals. 2-0 the score there. Hopefully every stick is legal. As remember, Game 2 of that final series, Marty McSorley played with an illegal stick, and Montreal got a key power play and ended up winning that game. That was one of the more fun Stanley Cup finals to watch, at least. Battle of Wayne Gretzky against really a Montreal team that was very balanced on the scoring attack, and they had a good goaltender in Patrick Waugh. After 2 periods, Guy Carenza's favorite team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they lead Buffalo 2-0. Pittsburgh is 15-8-4 this season. Buffalo is 12-13-2. When we come back in 1 minute, we'll talk with Guy Carenza and get his thoughts on what he saw in the second period. And maybe we'll tell some stories about the 1993 Stanley Cup Finals and the rematch between the Kings and the Canadiens. That's coming up next. This is the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report right here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Grizzlies hockey. Second intermission. Jacksonville leads Utah 3-1. After the game, I'm going to show Guy Carenza a video clip of Marty McSorley with the illegal stick. And that's Kings play the Canadians tonight, and it kind of reminds me of the 1993 Stanley Cup Finals, which is one of my favorite eras of hockey back in the 1990s, where you could play physical, you had some scoring, you had a little bit of everything. And I think that was one of my favorite eras of hockey. But here in the year 2022, the Grizzlies take on the Icemen. Jacksonville leads 3-1. Speaking of the 1990s, we got a couple Turner Cups in the background that the Grizzlies won. The one on the right is the Denver Grizzlies back in 1995. And then the one to our left right here is when the Grizzlies won in 1996, the Turner Cup, the first year the Grizzlies were in the Salt Lake Valley. And we'll talk about 1990s hockey a little bit later on down the road, maybe later this season. But Guy, the second period, the Grizzlies got on a power play as a double minor for high sticking was called, and Dakota Raby found the back of the net as he was all alone from the right side.
Yeah, Tyson, we talked about the special teams battle. Well, Jacksonville had it in the first period, and it looks like the Grizzlies came out on top in the second period. They got the power play goal from Raby, cut it to 3-1, and I thought the penalty kill looked a lot better in the second period. So that's a good thing moving forward.
Jacksonville outshot Utah 10-7 in the second period, but I think the Grizzlies really did a good job of not letting Jacksonville. I don't know what the official stat of scoring chances was in the second period, but it seemed like the Grizzlies did a good job of not letting Jacksonville get those odd man breaks and really get those key scoring chances.
Yeah, Tyson, we talked about, could the Grizzlies find a way to contain the Icemen and limit their offensive opportunities, limit the shots, get that count down? And it seems like, although they got outshot 10-7, that's a much closer margin than what we saw in the first period. And so that, again, bodes well for the Grizzlies. And we talked about them having a big second period, and they did. I mean, they only scored one goal in the second period, but that's more than the Jacksonville Icemen scored against them. So 1-0 goal margin for the Grizzlies in the second period cut this to a 3-1 hockey game. I like it. I like it a lot.
Hey, you never know what's going to happen in the third. I think one defenseman that's really stood out, he's played a little bit of a bigger role now that Andrew Nelson is out serving a one-game suspension, is Bryson Martin. He got the assist on the Raby goal. He leads the Grizzlies with 3 shots tonight, and I think Bryson's played a good game.
Yeah, Tyson, I agree. I like the game that Bryson Martin is bringing tonight. And you think about him, he's speedy, and he moves around a lot. And you think, well, Andrew Nielsen, he gets a lot of points because he makes a lot of great plays. He makes a lot of good passes, and he moves around a lot. And I think Bryson Martin is the kind of guy that can fit into that role. And we're starting to see that tonight, where Martin's moving around, he's making plays happen, and he's got a point out of it. And so you got to think going forward that Bryson Martin's going to got to be one of Kanasewicz's go-to guys if Andrew Nielsen isn't out there, or he may be on a second unit for the power play. I like what Bryson Martin brings to the table here.
So if the Grizzlies are going to come back here in the third period, what needs to work out for Utah over the next 20 minutes?
Well, first off, I think they got to stay out of the penalty box, right? We can't let Jacksonville get ahead on the special teams department again. So stay off the penalty kill. And number 2, you got to find a way to score on 5-on-5. I think that's the biggest glaring issue throughout the course of this series against the Icemen is the Grizzlies are having trouble scoring 5-on-5. And I think that if they can find a way to do that, I think they're going to have a good chance to win this game.
Jacksonville 3, Utah 1. We'll talk about the 1993 Stanley Cup Finals. Now, speaking of which, when was the first Stanley Cup Finals that you remember? Because I might just go through like a whole analogy of the 1990s and just show you like the entire decade worth of hockey through YouTube.
The first ones that I remember were the Penguins and the Red Wings ones from 08 and 09. That's about the earliest I can remember.
I feel old.
Well, I mean, even then I was only around, let's think, maybe about 8 or 9 around that time. So
I guess it just is what it is. Now, thinking back to the 1990s, there was a lot of sweeps in the Stanley Cup Finals. 1995 had the Devils winning in 4 straight games. 96, the Avalanche won in 4 straight. 97 and 98 were snoozers, where the Red Wings won back-to-back and were clearly, superior teams to Philadelphia and the Washington Capitals. 1999 was a fun year, a 6-game series between the Dallas Stars and Buffalo Sabres. There was a controversial game-winning goal in Game 6 that Brett Hull scored to clinch the cup for Dallas. We saw a controversial goal in the first period here tonight. So I'm thinking if you want to look back to some classic NHL finals, I'd go 1999. I would also go 1994 if you want to watch a classic series between the Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that foot in the crease one, right? I mean, Buffalo fans would say it one way, Dallas fans would say it the other way. That was a fun one. But yeah, I mean, the Stanley Cup Finals are always fun, right? I mean, even if it's a sweep, it's the Stanley Cup Finals.
It was a good series back in the 90s, and Obviously, think about the Grizzlies and their NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, the defending Stanley Cup champs. We'll come back in 1 minute and have third period action. Once again, the score after 40 minutes, it's the Jacksonville Icemen 3 and the Utah Grizzlies 1. This has been the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Now we're about set to start third period action as Jacksonville leads Utah 3-1. I was going to talk about, I think we ran out of time. We're talking about 1990s NHL for some reason. I forgot to talk about the Grizzlies that are in the AHL. As right now there's 5 forwards and 1 defenseman who are in the AHL. Kyle Betts has played in 9 games with Belleville of the AHL. He's got 0 points and 4 penalty minutes in 2 games with Utah, had 1 assist. Nate Clerman's also in the AHL. He's got 3 assists and a +3 rating in 11 games. Forwards Brandon Cutler. Cutler had signed with Hartford earlier this week. Conveniently enough, they're the AHL affiliate of the Jacksonville Icemen. Ben Tardif has 1 goal and 2 assists and a +1 rating in 11 games. Zach Sekos has played in 5 games with Colorado. Cameron Wright has played in 2 games with Colorado. We mentioned that because you're talking about 2 strong forward lines that are currently in the AHL. Earlier today, the Grizzlies got Tarun Fizer back from the AHL's Colorado Eagles, but there are still 5 forwards that have played multiple games for the Grizzlies who are currently in the AHL, and a dependable defenseman in Nate Clerman, who's doing some good things over in Colorado. Jacksonville leads 3-1. They've outshot the Grizzlies 27-15. 20 minutes are put on the stadium scoreboard clock. Faceoff's going to be at center ice as Parker Gahagan is going to be in net as he wears number 31. Last night it was Charles Williams stopping 23 of 24. Lucas Preek is in net for the Grizzlies, and he's handled himself pretty well. Jacksonville wins the draw. They skate from left to right as we see it on Flow Sports. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Icemen dump it in as the arm is raised by the linesman as we have an icing call 9 seconds into the third period. Draw is going to come back towards Parker Gahagan, who 2 years ago was with the Grizzlies. Gahagan, one of those dependable goaltenders. Last season, he was with Florida, the team that ended up winning the Kelly Cup. So he's been a part of some winning organizations and some winning teams. Before he was with the Grizzlies, he was with the Newfoundland Growlers back when Newfoundland was starting out in this league. And Newfoundland, one of the better teams in the league since they came into existence a handful of years ago. So if you want to win, make sure you sign a guy like Parker Gahagan. As the draw won by Utah, they're in the offensive zone. They skate around the net as Jacksonville delivers a hit as it goes towards the near side. Utah goes down as Travis Howe will skate towards center ice. He'll get to the red line and dump it in. It looked like he didn't get to the red line, says the linesman, as icing is called on Jacksonville as we get our second icing call 21 seconds into the third period. So we'll see if the Grizzlies can find a way to keep chipping away and see if they can cut into this Jacksonville lead. But the third periods this series have been dominated by the Icemen, but you never know. The Grizzlies do have Tarun Fizer back. He's got 1 shot through 2 periods here tonight, and he also has an assist on the Dakota Raby goal that was scored 12-24 into the second period. Draw along the near wing board, says Jacksonville pitching out to center ice, taken back by Utah's Tarun Fizer, chases after it. Fizer gets hit over in the left corner of the Grizzlies zone. McDonald will skate over there, so is Penner, as Jacksonville will center it. It's picked off by Martin. Martin tried to locate the puck. It goes past him. Right circle. Jacksonville gets pushed into the corner. Now they skate around the net. Travis Howe towards the left side. He skates towards the point. He drops it off towards the boards. Left wing shot goes wide. The puck glides towards the near wall. It's taken by Penner, and he'll accept it, and he'll throw it all the way back down. But it looks like Utah's called for icing, and it looks like a collision out along the end wall as Johnny Walker goes down as we get a whistle 58 seconds into the third period. I think Utah's called for icing for the first time here in the third. Grizzlies return to Maverick Center next Saturday. That's going to be the Grizzlies' next game. It's going to be a 7:10 start, and it's going to be the teddy bear toss as well as ugly sweater night. So a lot of things. Make sure to bring a couple teddy bears to throw on the ice after Utah's first goal. Those teddy bears are going to go to local charities. We want to see a good showing. We want to see a couple thousand teddy bears on the ice next Saturday for teddy bear toss. It's also going to be ugly sweater night. The Grizzlies are going to be wearing specialty jerseys. Utah wins the face-off. They throw it ahead. Tarun Fizer to the left side. Backhand shot. Saved by Gahagan. His rebound goes out to Jacksonville as they'll throw it towards Christopher Brown. He'll nudge it ahead to Nazarene. He'll feed it across towards Lodermeyer. He couldn't handle it. Raby pokes it back into Jacksonville's territory. Icemen skate behind their net. It's Keaton Jamison shadowing. Now to the right point. Righty shot. And it goes over Gahagan's head and stays in play. Now left wing throw with a shot. Gahagan makes another save. He holds on with 18:32 left in the third, but the Grizzlies really aggressive offensively, trying to cut into the Jacksonville lead. Though with a good shot from the left side, and the Grizzlies had a couple other good looks. Fizer had a pretty much borderline breakaway down the left side and had a backhand shot that Gahagan was able to make the save on. Utah already 2 shots here in the first minute and a half of the third period. This draw is going to be in the left circle. Good Saturday night crowd as Utah wins the face-off. Kyle Pouncey in the right point fires a righty shot. Saved by Gahagan. Rebound out towards the left side. And Jacksonville clears it out. Run down by Pouncey wearing number 23. The former Wichita Thunder skater. Goes around the Utah net. Now feed it back across to Aaron Tho. Tho back to Pouncey. He falls down. Luke Lynch takes it away. But Preek pokes it away. Now to the right circle. Backhand shot by Howardchuk is blocked by Pouncey. What a daring play by Lucas Preek as Luke Lynch was skating in. And Preek just dove out of his crease to poke the puck away from Lynch before he got a shot off. Jacksonville has it at neutral ice as Luke Martin crosses center. He drives it around the boards. It's cut off in the left corner as Lynch goes down. Pouncey very physical. Great shift by Pouncey as puck goes out towards center ice, except for when Pouncey tripped or fell down, and then Lynch was able to get a chance as Jacksonville dumps it ahead. Icemen skate in. Luke Lynch with a shot, and Preek makes a save. Rebound goes out to Utah. Good back check by Utah as Luke Lynch didn't have much of a chance. Grizzlies dump it into the offensive zone. Jacksonville gets it back. Jacob Panetta wearing number 15. He'll lob it out to center ice. Jacksonville crosses center. They lose the puck. Corey Thomas will nudge it ahead to the right side. Now across to the left as Penner couldn't reach after it. As Jacksonville out to center ice, crosses center, right wing. They'll dump it into the corner. They get to the corner. McDonald delivers a hit. Jacksonville feeds it from one corner to the other. Brendan Harris loses his stick. He gets it back in the right corner. Grizzlies clear it out. Utah chasing after it in the Jacksonville zone as the Icemen get it before Neil Robinson. Out towards the near side, backhand pass to center ice. And now it goes to Utah's. The pass was incomplete for the Icemen. Out to center ice, Utah's pass at neutral is incomplete as well. Now Jacksonville lobs it back into the Grizzlies zone where it's taken by McDonald. And we get some action towards center ice as Travis Howe looking over a Grizzlies skater, and it's Johnny Walker. His play is stopped. Now Howe has Walker by the shirt. Howe aggressive with Walker. Walker with some words for Howe. As the linesmen are trying to break it up. Travis Howe yelling at Johnny Walker and Walker yelling back at Howe. Now Walker gets pushed from behind by a Jacksonville skater. Walker is going to skate towards the penalty box, and I imagine so is Travis Howe. Skinner goes to the box. Howe's going to stay out there. As looks like we might skate 4-on-4. All the action happened away from the whistle. And, of course, before the time we were about to see the official signal, they show some fans in the stands dancing. So we'll see what happens with the call. Skinner looks like he's going to go to the box. I imagine Walker's going to go in as well. 16:43 left in the third, as the Grizzlies have been aggressive offensively, trying to cut into the 2-goal Jacksonville lead. It looks like Skinner's going to get 2 minutes, and so is Johnny Walker. Maybe it's matching roughing minors. So we'll see if we'll skate 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. Where's the draw going to be? I think the puck was in the Grizzlies zone when they stopped play. But it looks like the draw is going to be at neutral ice in Grizzlies territory on the near side. So Walker's in the box for Utah, Hunter Skinner, but it was Walker and Travis Howe that were having a heated conversation with each other at center ice. And then Travis Howe grabbed Walker by the shirt and dragged him 2 or 3 times like Walker was a bobblehead. Draw's going to be at center ice. It looks like we're skating 4-on-4. Jacksonville wins the draw. They're at center ice. They skate down the middle. Icemen gain the offensive line as they veer off to the left. They feed it up top as Jacksonville. Brendan Harris will get it to Martin. Martin will skate towards the left circle. He'll stop in the circle. He'll throw it back up top for Harris. Harris, shot, saved by Parikh. Rebound goes out to the right side as Hanno will get it to Nazarene. Nazarene's already got a goal tonight. Skates along the near goal line, now behind the net. Nazarene will feed it to the left point. As there's a minute 30 left in the 4-on-4. As skating's Harris over to Martin. He'll take a shot. Didn't get much on a one-timer. As it looked like Utah got a piece of it, and it was Fizer. As Penner throws it towards Martin, Luke that is, he'll get it across. Jacksonville still in the offensive zone. As Hanno gets pushed from behind by Penner, puck still in play. As Nazarene to the right corner, skates around Utah's net. He'll feed it to the left circle, but the only guy there was a Grizzly. They pick it off as Utah feeds it to the near side for Martin. Bryson Martin will skate towards his right as the Grizzlies make a line change. Halfway through the 4-on-4 situation, Jacksonville leads Utah 3-1. Utah gets to the near side. Now Utah feeds it to center ice as Raby dumps it in from center ice, skates to the corner, gets there first. He gets double-teamed. Hadfield took it away. Hadfield will fake it to his right. He'll skate down the middle. He crosses the center ice logo, get it to Brown, who will nudge it back towards the near wall, looking for Hadfield, who avoids a check but loses the puck. Fitz will drop it back off for McDonald. Now the action in the corner. As Aaron Tho over there as well. Now slot, righty shot, saved by Parikh. That shot was taken by Brown. Puck still in play to the left side. As Frank looks to center it, passes behind Lodermeyer. Grizzlies skate in 2-on-1. Fitz over to the right side for Raby. Back to Fitz. Shot hits the side of the net. As Fitz didn't have much of a shooting angle after he got it back from Raby. As Brown back behind his net. 10 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Jacksonville makes a line change. As the Icemen with a 2-goal lead skates down the middle. They cross center ice. Jacksonville gets around Jamison over to the left circle. Lefty shot, and he goes wide to the mark. As they're looking to go stick side on Parikh. Back towards the right side. Grizzlies will carry the puck in their own zone. Now to the near side for Thomas. Thomas will throw it into Jacksonville territory looking for Cole Tarchi. Puck bounced off the stick now. Over to the near side in the Jacksonville zone as Howard Chuck gets hit by Strong. Back over to Theo Charis. Theo Charis will dump it all the way down, and it's going to be icing on Jacksonville. He was looking for a pass at neutral ice, and the pass was incomplete. 14-12 is left in the third. Draw is going to be in the Jacksonville zone. Icemen have outshot the Grizzlies 30-18. But it kind of feels like the Grizzlies are on the brink, and when you think about that 4-on-4 situation with Utah utilizing their speed, it was a good opportunity there. As Raby and Fitz looked like they had something going for them, a give and go. Raby back to Fitz to Raby, then Raby back to Fitz. But by the time Fitz got it back, he didn't have much of a shooting angle and just fired it off the side of the net. Utah wins the draw. Martin with a shot that goes wide. Now Tho, left wing shot, and saved by Gehagen. Rebound goes out towards the left corner. Utah gets up back up top for Martin. Out to the high slot. Fizer feeds to the right side. Now around the net. Walker trying to get it out in the front, but it hits the side of the net as Walker surveying behind the net as getting held up is Aaron Tho. Now back to Walker, trying to chip it back to Tho, and he does. Centers it, centering pass to Penners, picked off by Harris. Now to the right side, Grizzlies trying to get to the circle. It glanced off an Iceman and goes out to center ice. Grizzlies will reset. Martin at center ice, left wing, drives it around the boards. This goes back to Jacksonville. Utah collides, takes the puck away. Walker behind the net. I look to center it. Jacksonville in the crease, trying to pick it off. They try to clear it out and hits off an Iceman. Grizzlies still in the offensive zone. Thomas, left wing, will bounce it off the end wall. Jamison battling in the corner as he knocks down an Iceman skater. Luke Lynch will feed it to the right side, picked off by Martin, and Bryson skates towards the corner. As Jamison over to the right side, gets up top to Fizer. One-timer, and it goes wide. 7 minutes into the third period, Thomas delivers a hit. Jacksonville will lift it high into the air as it's gloved by Utah at center ice. Grizz will reset as Thomas does a little bit of a curl at center ice. Look for a pass. Jacksonville picked it off. Icemen to the right side. Victor Hadfield shot. Saved by Parikh. Now Howe skates towards the left corner as him and Martin collide. As Howe tries to feed it. Hits the side of the net. Now Howe delivers a hit on Martin. Now Howe hits Martin in the corner on the far side. As Jacksonville feeds it back to the right. As they're still in the offensive zone, Hadfield will get it towards the right corner. Now back up top for Harris. He'll feed it to the left side. Now across for Hadfield, who wears number 4. He gets it back to the left side. Jacksonville with a shot, and it gets blocked as it goes back to the right side. Now lefty shot, saved by Parikh. Rebound to the right. That's Jacksonville. Feeds it back to the left point. And now around the boards, Iceman Gets it to Jacob Friend. He avoids a check. Almost collides with Howe. Howe throws it up top. It's Jacksonville. Left point gets it just outside the circle. Now Howe will take a righty shot, and it goes over Preek's head. Still in play over to the left side. Now behind Utah's net. It's Jacksonville. Nazarene will skate towards the left circle. Now he chips it off into the corner. Taken by Corey Harris. Harris will bounce it off the far glass, and it goes into neutral ice. Grizzlies sneak in a line change. Right wing pass to Hatfield, who overskates the puck, taken by Harris of Jacksonville. He'll throw it back into the Icemen zone as Jacksonville skating from left to right. At neutral ice, Martin crosses center, and Luke will drive it around the boards. Jacksonville, left side, puck stays in the corner. McDonald will feed it across. Grizzlies out towards center ice. Jacksonville gets it back as the Icemen re-enter. Utah challenges at their blue line and takes the puck away as Robinson throws it to the right side. Now back towards Robinson. That pass goes wide. Now behind the net, Jacksonville gets the puck. About 9 minutes into the third period, pass hits off of Aaron Tho. It goes back to the Jacksonville goal line. Iceman on the near side gets pushed along the wall as Grizzlies get physical. As over in the corner, 3 Icemen and 3 Grizzlies battle. Jacksonville gets it. Now they'll start the attack again. As Luke Martin skates down the middle. He's played a ton of minutes tonight. Grizzlies batted down to their blue line as Utah skates from right to left. Fitz will throw it to the right side for Jamison. He winds and fires, saved by Gahagan. Rebound glides all the way along the near wall and gets kicked towards the slot. Martin has to go past him into the Grizzlies corner. Martin gets it back. Bryson, that is, over to Pouncey. Pouncey back to Bryson Martin. As he's on the right side, he'll skate towards his right. As he'll feed it to the right side. Grizzlies enter the zone. Utah will chip it into the left corner where it's taken by Raby. Raby gets around Lodermeyer. Left wing pass to Jamison. He takes a shot that goes wide. Now taken by Jacksonville. As they'll feed it out towards center ice. Jordan tried to dump it in, and Bryson Martin picked it off. Raby at neutral ice gets over to Bryson Martin. He'll feed it to his right. Grizzlies skating along the boards. Right wing shot goes wide. Back towards the near side. Raby with a one-timer from the left circle that hits off of Gahagan. Goes back to Raby. He gets to Martin. Halfway through the third period, Martin will bounce it off the end wall as it glides towards the far side. As Jacksonville tries to clear it out, it hits off a Grizzly. Jacksonville back towards the near corner will chip it ahead. As Utah center ice accepts it. As Thomas will get it across. Now left wing pass looking for Fitz. And it's picked off by Jacksonville, who overskates it. Now Fitz skates towards the left circle. Backhand pass towards Aaron Tho. Doesn't connect. Puck bounced off a Grizzly. Now Tho over to Fitz. Shot. Saved by Gahagan. As Aaron Tho was over in the slot, fed it over to Fitz on the left side. Fitz with a one-timer, and somehow Parker Gahagan made the save. 9:23 is left in the third period. Timeout on the ice. It's the Icemen 3 and the Grizzlies 1. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey presented by Rio Tinto.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Jacksonville 3, Utah 1. Neither team has scored in the third period. Breaking news, Caleb Williams, the USC quarterback, wins the Heisman Trophy. I don't know if he's going to paint his fingernails for the occasion, but he is the third USC quarterback to win the Heisman, joining Carson Palmer and Matt Leinart. 9.5 minutes left in the third. Jacksonville leads 3-1 as the Icemen cross center ice and Travis Howe dumps it in. Bryson Martin will feed it to the left side. It's cut off by the Icemen. They accept the pass out to the left point. Lefty shot, and it gets blocked out in front of Preek, and the puck glides towards the right corner. Utah with a backhand pass towards center ice. Jacksonville will sail it back in. As the Icemen get hit along the far boards, as Preek cuts the puck off behind his net. As the Grizzlies. Aaron Tho gets it poked away and goes towards Penner. He dumps it in. As Jacob Friend over to the far side, taken by Penner, trying to get it to Walker, but Walker was being held up. Fizer centers it towards Penner, but Tyler couldn't toe drag and get a shot off as Jacksonville will dump it into the Grizzlies zone. Though will chase after it, no icing, as he'll skate around Parik's net. 8.5 minutes left in the third, as Though will pitch it out to center ice, taken by Strong. Strong to the right side, gains the line, dumps it into the corner, tries to get around an Iceman. Now Jacksonville has it go back towards Lodermeyer. He'll feed it to Jacob Hamaker. Bouncing puck to center ice is collected by McDonald. Connor will peel back into his own zone in front of Parik, as Connor will feed a backhand pass to the far side. Grizzlies get it back to McDonald. Connor will get a left wing pass that bounced off of Christopher Brown back to McDonald. Connor will bounce it off the near wall, and Utah chasing after it. No icing. Gahagan will feed it towards the far side. Utah battling along the far board. Simeone over there as well as Robinson. Jacksonville comes out of the pile with the puck as Luke Martin will dish it out to center ice. Bouncing puck, no icing as Zach Jordan skates towards the corner. He collides with Pouncey. Now another Grizzly skates over there. Robinson joins the play. They'll throw it to the right side. Jacksonville cuts it off near the corner. Get it up top for Panetta, who kept it in. They'll feed it to the left corner as Jacksonville gets hit by Pouncey. Now left wing shot, saved by Parik. Rebound goes out to the right side. Jacksonville spins it along the wall to the far as Simeone will bounce it off an Iceman. Now it's taken by Howard Chuck, who gets held up by Pouncey. Now Jordan gets hit by Robinson. Pouncey in the corner trying to dish it away. Jacksonville will feed it over up top to the left point. Now around the boards, McDonald will get bounced off the end wall as Jacksonville skates towards the right point. They've got a 3-1 lead. Iceman winds and fires. Kick saved by Parik. Rebound shot. Kick saved by Parik. McDonald gets it. Connor avoids a check as he'll clear it out to center. As now we got some pushing and shoving as looked like Jacksonville trying to be physical with McDonald. Icemen dump it in as the fans start to get excited a little bit when we play on. Pouncey will feed it towards the near side for Raby, who gets around Travis Hound. Now Raby gains the line, skates towards the middle. He'll chip it to the right corner as Fitz gets hit. Now Utah will bounce it to the left point as Martin gets over to the left corner as it rolls back behind the net. They're trying to get to Raby in the left circle. He couldn't accept the pass as he was being back-checked. Hal will nudge it ahead to Harris. Harris hits it off at Thoe. Thoe almost hit Harris in the corner, but avoided him. As now the puck ends up squirting towards the middle. Hal couldn't accept it as Utah took it away. Martin feeds a left wing pass to Fitz at center ice. Fitz spins around and dumps it in as Utah chasing after it along the end wall of Jacksonville's zone. 6 minutes left in the third and counting. Grizzlies nudge it towards the left circle. Utah throws it back up top, but it goes past Tarun Fizer. He'll skate over into his own zone to get it. Almost looks like Fizer's playing a defensive role for the Grizzlies tonight here in the third period as Thomas will nudge it ahead. Grizzlies spin it along the wall. Gahagan couldn't cut it off as Luke Martin over to the near wall as he'll feed it ahead to center ice. Lifts it as it bounces into the Grizzlies zone. Taken by Pouncey as he stops behind Parik. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the third period as Pouncey skates down the middle. Now outlet it to center ice. Grizzlies trying to get it to Penner. Passes wide of him. Now Penner battling in the right point. Trying to get it over to Pouncey, but it bounced off of Pouncey towards the end wall. Pouncey gets hit. Utah avoids a check as Christopher Brown will lift the puck towards the Grizzlies bench as it bounces off the boards. Jacksonville will have it poked to the corner of the Grizzlies zone. Corey Thomas over there battling with Jacob Hamaker as Thomas gets the puck, trying to get it from one corner to the other, but the referee got in the way. One of the two referees tonight. As the puck ends up to the left side. Jordan feeds it up top. Jacksonville couldn't accept it as it goes out to center ice. Panetta gets it at the center ice logo and dumps it around the wall. Goes back over towards Cole Tarchi, delivers a hit on Jordan. Though will feed it to the near side. Arm is raised by the referee. Who's the penalty going to be on? And Jacksonville, they touch up the puck. I think the penalty is going to be on them. 4:38 is left in the third period, and there's a timeout on the ice. I think the Grizzlies are going to be on a power play when we come back in 30 seconds and find out how this one ends on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Jacksonville leads 3-1, but Zach Jordan is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell as the Iceman forward gets 2 minutes for slashing, 15:22 in, as the Grizzlies are going to be on the power play. Utah is 1 for 4 on the power play so far. Jacksonville is 2 for 5. A good crowd of 7,362 is at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. 7,362 is the attendance. All 3 games of the series, or at least 2 of the 3, had an attendance of over 7,000. There was about 5,300 on Wednesday, then a little bit more than 7,000 on Friday, and 7,362 tonight over at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Grizzlies are on the power play. Jordan is in the penalty box. Johnny Walker will take the face-off. He's got Raby to his right and Fizer to his left. Draw one by Jacksonville as they'll feed it around the Icemen net over to the near side. Jacksonville battling along the boards. 3 Grizzlies hacking away along with 2 Icemen. Raby in the corner gets pushed by Friend as Raby around the net gets to the right side. Now back to Raby. He throws it up top for Martin. Now back to the left side for Walker. Back to Martin. He'll get it to Fizer. Back across looking for Fitz, and it glances off the Jacksonville stick and goes back into the Grizzlies zone. Fizer chasing after it. He'll give it to Martin as Jacksonville makes a line change. As Jacksonville leads 3-1, 4 minutes left in the third period. Martin drops it off for Fizer. Tarun skates towards the right side, gains the offensive line. Now Martin gets it in the high slot. He'll skate towards middle, take a shot. Saved by Jacksonville. Now right wing Walker with a shot that's blocked. Walker gets it back. Brown was the one that blocked the shot for Jacksonville. Walker back towards Martin. Brown cuts him off. Walker tripped him up. Pass ahead. Breakaway for Jacksonville. They'll skate down the middle. Backhand shot and a score. That was a fake backhand, and Derek Lodermeyer went towards his right and back to his left and got it past Lucas Preek as this baby's in the refrigerator as Jacksonville gets their second shorthanded goal of the game, and they've taken a 4-1 lead. The Iceman got the puck at neutral ice and then fed it ahead to Lodermeyer. Lodermeyer faked to his right and then went back to his left, and Preek got off balance, and then Lodermeyer just kind of snuck it past Preek as Preek was diving towards Lodermeyer's left to try to cut it off. So Derek Lodermeyer picks up his 9th goal of the season. He's the reigning league player of the week. It looks like he's having a good series against the Grizzlies. 2 power play goals and 2 shorthanded goals by Jacksonville tonight. As the Grizzlies are still on the power play for the next minute, but it's Jacksonville 4 and Utah 1. As the Grizzlies throw a left wing pass to Tho at neutral ice. Tho will skate towards his right, get around a skater now, enter from the right side as he'll bounce it off the far boards. Tho tries to beat it back to the point. Jacksonville picks it off. McDonald trying to keep it in as he took it away from a Jacksonville skater. As Robinson over to the right side, Grizzlies around the net with the puck, but Tho got it taken away. Jacksonville clears it past Connor McDonald and into the Grizzlies zone. About 3 minutes left in the third. Icemen lead 4-1. Jacksonville has outshot Utah 36-27. McDonald will throw it to the near side for Tho. Back to McDonald. Connor skates to the left side, crosses the center red, and dumps it in around the boards. Grizzlies chip it back towards the left side. Utah gets to Tho along the wall. He'll feed it to the left circle. Grizzlies will bounce it off the end wall. Jacksonville gets it. They'll get it across to Theo Charitas. Now to Christopher Brown. He'll backhand it off the far boards. Center ice, Jacksonville gets it. Skating out of the penalty box is Zach Jordan. They tried to center it to him out in front of Preek, and it's picked off by Robinson. 2.5 minutes left in the third. Jacksonville leads 4-1 as the Icemen have outscored the Grizzlies 13-4 in this series. As Thomas out to center ice, now Cam Strong, 2-on-2. Strong steps over the blue line. Jamison skates towards the far wall, but it's taken by Harris, who skates towards his end boards. Now he chips it ahead to Jordan. Jordan lifts it out to the Grizzlies zone. Bouncing puck corralled by Utah as they nudge it to center ice. Cam Strong crosses center and dumps it in. He'll chase after it. Kolatarchi overskates the puck as he'll feed it towards the near boards. Now Kolatarchi chasing after it. And it glances towards Corey Thomas in the point. Now Simeone, left side shot, saved by Gahagan. He holds on with 1:47 left in the third. So it looks like, barring a miracle, I wanted to call them the Jaguars all week long. The Jacksonville Icemen are going to sweep the Grizzlies in this 3-game set. Don't forget, Utah returns to Maverick Center next Saturday for an interesting showdown against the Kansas City Mavericks. Remember, next Saturday is going to be the Teddy Bear Toss, and it's also Ugly Sweater Night. So make sure to bring your ugly sweater. Come on down to Maverick Center. Bring multiple stuffed animals to throw on the ice after Utah's first goal. We want to see you test your arm strength on the Maverick Center ice after Utah's tallies the first goal of their next game. That's next Saturday, first of a 2-game set against the Kansas City Mavericks. Jacksonville wins the face-off. They skate towards center ice and dump it in. Parikh is still in net as Travis Howe skates after it. He'll feed it across to Lynch. Lynch behind the net and over to the right side. He'll chip it up top looking for Hunter Skinner. Taken away by Simeone. And so he'll nudge it ahead. And Jacksonville will bat it back into the neutral ice as everybody stops skating with 1:25 left in the third. Jacksonville on Wednesday night won 5-2. Last night, Jacksonville got a 4-1 victory. Good power play for the Grizzlies, who scored a power play tally in each of the 3 games in this series, but so did Jacksonville. So special teams played a big factor. Jacksonville didn't score a single goal in a 5-on-5 situation tonight. 2 power play goals and 2 shorthanded goals. Utah's lone goal, 12:26 into the second period, was a power play tally by Dakota Raby. Draws in the left circle. Jacksonville's outshot Utah 36-28. That's a very similar shot count as to what the Grizzlies had in the first 2 games of this series. Left wing Fizer with a shot that goes wide, and the Icemen clear it out to center, taken by Pouncey. He'll skate back into his own zone. Parikh is still in net. 1:10 left in the third. Martin gets it poked away. Bryson, that is, as Brown dumps it to the corner. Bryson Martin chases towards the near corner to get it. He'll feed it to the far side along the wall. Grizzlies trying to chip it towards Walker, but the puck never got to him. Now it gets to Walker. He'll dump it in. Fizer chasing after it, but the puck deflects out of play into the Jacksonville bench. Less than 1 minute left in the third period. When we come back to the post-game report, we'll talk with Guy Carenzo. We'll recap this one. On the Lodermeyer goal, Christopher Brown got the assist. Time of the shorthanded goal, 16:23 into the third period. That's the only goal scored on either side in the third. As Jacksonville's just found a way here to sweep the 3-game series. Grizzlies cross center ice and dump it in. As play is stopped with 47 seconds left in the third. And some pushing and shoving in the Jacksonville zone as Jordan Stone collides with Aaron Nazarene. As the linesmen are breaking up Stone and Nazarene. As Nazarene doesn't have his helmet on, Stone still has his. As Stone trying to get after it with Nazarene, the linesman holds up Stone, or one of the linesmen holds up Stone, the other one holds up Nazarene. Looks like Jordan Stone's going to get an early shower. Aaron Nazarene wondering what happened. As he lost his helmet, he'll get it back on. 47 seconds left in the third. Nazarene with 2 palms in the air saying, "What did I do?" As Nazarene looking around, he talks to one of the referees, John Lindner. As Nazarene, with less than 2 minutes left in the third period, might just head to the locker room. As Jacksonville leads 4-1 after the whistle, as the Grizzlies dumped it in. Nazarene and Jordan Stone mixing it up. Neither guy really dropped the gloves, even though Nazarene lost his helmet. Now Nazarene will walk to the locker room, and Jordan Stone is now in the Grizzlies locker room as well. Travis Howe on the ice. You got to watch out for that. I mean, can we see some, what do we call it, extracurricular activity here in the final minute? Remember, this is the last of a 3-game series, and it's also the last time these teams will meet this season. So it's possible you might see some other rough stuff happen here in the final minute of play. Where's the draw going to be? I don't know if it's going to be in the Jacksonville zone, but we'll watch out to see if there's anything here, as the draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone. As it looks like Tarun Fizer is going to represent Stone in the penalty box for 2 minutes. So Jacksonville is going to be back on the power play. It's a 5-on-3 power play, 47 seconds left. Now, Travis Howe is not on power play situations normally. As the draw won by Utah's Keaton Jamison will bounce it off the end glass. It stays in, or make that the far glass. As Luke Martin will get it to the right side. As Friend back to the left side. As Harris fires a shot that goes wide. 30 seconds left in regulation. As Martin to the right side skates towards the boards. Now Martin near the corner, gets it back up top, looking for Friend, but it stayed in the corner. Jamison hacking away, goes towards Friend. He'll feed it to the left side, 16 seconds left. Jacksonville might not take another shot, as they'll get it over to Friend. Friend with 10 seconds left, throws it to Martin on the right side. Martin with a shot, saved by Parikh. Puck ends up going to the right corner. Martin gets it up top to Friend. Passes wide of the mark, but that will do it. Jacksonville wins 4-1 as there wasn't any rough stuff in the final minute as the Icemen had goaltender Parker Gahagan as he stopped 27 of 28 as the Icemen in the 3-game sweep outscored the Grizzlies 13-4. As Jacksonville on Wednesday night won 5-2. Last night they got a 4-1 victory, and tonight an identical 4-1 win as Jacksonville scored 2 power play goals and 2 shorthanded tallies. Utah's lone goal tonight was a power play goal by Dakota Raby, 12:24 into the second period. Post-game show starts in 1 minute. Once again, the final score from VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, the Jacksonville Icemen 4 and the Utah Grizzlies 1. The Grizzlies post-game show begins in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Final score from VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Jacksonville defeats Utah 4-1 as the Icemen sweep the Grizzlies in a 3-game series. Utah went 1-4 on the road trip as the Grizzlies' record falls to 9-12. Jacksonville's record goes to 12-9. Jacksonville scored 3 goals in the first period. Hunter Skinner got a power play tally on a one-timer from the left circle, 12:21 in. Christopher Brown and Luke Martin picked up the assists. And then the Jacksonville Icemen got back on the power play again and scored as Nazarene got his 10th of the year. Hamaker and Lynch with the assist, and it's controversial among Grizzlies fans' eyes as it looked like the puck bounced off the skate of Nazarene and into the back of the net. Was there a kicking motion? Well, some might argue there would be, but Nazarene's goal counted as he either got a kicking motion in, but it wasn't distinct enough, or it was one of those where he angled his skate to the point where when the puck hit it, it just ended up going towards the direction of the back of the net. One way or another, the goal counted. So whether it's legitimate or not doesn't really matter because after all, the goal counted. Second power play goal for Jacksonville. They led 2-0. And then the Grizzlies got on a power play after Travis Howe got a tripping minor, 14:59 in. And 1 minute into the Grizzlies power play, Jacksonville scored a shorthanded tally as Zach Jordan got his 5th of the year. Luke Lynch with the assist. Lynch ended up with 2 assists tonight. Jacksonville led 3-0 after 1 as the Icemen outshot the Grizzlies 17-8 in the first period. In the second, Dakota Raby, he scored the only goal by either side in the second. Raby got his 4th of the year. Martin and Fizer with the assists. It's the 3rd assist for both Martin and Fizer this season. Grizzlies went 1 for 5 on the power play. Jacksonville was 2 for 6. That was the only goal of the game by the second period on either team. Jacksonville's second period issues continue. They've been outscored 29-14 in the second periods this season. Grizzlies' second periods have been their best. They've now outscored the opposition 25-19 in the second period. In the third, the only goal scored on either side was a shorthanded tally by Jacksonville, their second shorthanded goal of the night, as Christopher Brown fed an outlet pass to Derek Lodermeyer. Lodermeyer faked to his right, went back to his left, got Parikh off his feet, and was able to sneak it past Parikh and into the back of the net. And that was all she wrote. Jacksonville took a 4-1 lead and cruised to victory. Jordan Stone got a double minor for roughing, 19-14 in, and Nazarene got a roughing minor. So that's why Jacksonville ended the night on the power play. I thought we might see some physical stuff towards the end, but the Stone-Nazarene battle was the only one that we saw in the final minute. So Jacksonville has now got a 5-game winning streak over the Grizzlies over the last couple years. And for the Grizzlies, a tough road trip as they go to 9-12 this season. They come back to Maverick Center for a 2-game set against Kansas City next Saturday and Sunday. December 18th at 7 o'clock, and December 19th at 3 p.m. Lucas Parikh tonight stopped 33 of 37, almost similar to what he did last night, where he stopped 33 of 36. Dakota Raby now has a point in 7 of his last 8 games, and he's been outstanding for the Grizzlies. He had a good effort tonight. Tarun Fizer came back after a stint in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. He played in 3 games with Colorado, and Fizer had an assist tonight. And, Bryson Martin with an assist. He played a pretty good game for Utah. He had 3 shots. Dakota Raby led Utah with 4 shots, and then 3 shots each for Walker, Fizer, Jamison, Fitz, and Martin. So it's a very balanced attack in terms of where the shots were coming from the Grizzlies side. As for Jacksonville, Derek Lodermeyer, who had the shorthanded goal, he was tied for the club lead with Zach Jordan. In fact, Lodermeyer and Jordan each had 5 shots, and both of them had a shorthanded goal. Hunter Skinner had 1 goal on 4 shots. Christopher Brown had no goals on 4 shots, but Brown had 2 assists. The 3 stars of the game, I think I saw on Flow Sports, there's like 5 or 6 different players that went out and tossed a T-shirt into the seats. So I don't know if they had honorable mentions or whatever, but they had so many 3 stars of the game that it seemed like we saw more than 3 players. Third star is Luke Lynch, who had 2 assists and was a +1. He's the number 3 star. Christopher Brown, who also had 2 assists and was a +1. He's the number 2 star. The number 1 star, goaltender Parker Gahagan, who stopped 28 of 29. Gahagan on Wednesday night stopped 27 of 29 as the Icemen outshot the Grizzlies 37 to 29, which is a very similar shot count to what we saw in each of the first 2 games of this series. Special teams for the 3rd straight game played a factor. Jacksonville went 2 for 6 on the power play. Utah was 1 for 5. And a pretty good crowd of 7,362 was at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. And it was an interesting game, really a tough series for the Grizzlies, who finished up the road trip with a 1-3 record. They have lost 3 in a row. And so this upcoming homestand against Kansas City is certainly going to be big, that 2-game series. Grizzlies were able to get Tarun Fizer back tonight. And who knows, maybe over the next week, maybe the Grizz will get a couple other forwards back from the AHL. But as we're joined by Guy Carenza, and, Utah needed a strong 3rd period, but just couldn't find the back of the net. And then Jacksonville, with their second shorthanded goal of the game, that's pretty much all she wrote from there.
Yeah, Tyson, I didn't think that the 3rd period was bad from the Grizzlies. In fact, it was a pretty fast-paced played 3rd period, and there was not a lot of whistles. But unfortunately, the Grizzlies just couldn't get anything done. And I think that's the story of the entire series is Jacksonville had their way, and the Grizzlies didn't. And Jacksonville dictated the pace, and they dictated the terms, and that was just the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, the shot count in the 3 games of the series seemed to be very similar in all 3 games. Jacksonville had anywhere from like 36, 37 shots, and the Grizzlies were in the 20s in all 3 games.
Yeah, Tyson, I mean, if you're allowing that many shots, I mean, that's a high shot volume. Like I said before in last night's broadcast, it doesn't matter who's in net. You can have Miner, Metcalf, Parikh. You could have anybody in net, and it doesn't matter. You get almost 50 shots a game sometimes. It's just tough. It's just tough to be able to win when you're allowing that many shots.
It's good to see Dakota Raby find the back of the net again. He's got a point in 7 of his last 8. And you think back to the 3 weeks, the great series he had against the Lions on Thanksgiving week where he had 2 points in each of the 3 games and was runner-up for the league's Player of the Week honor. It was pretty good last week against Idaho. And just continued with a pretty good series against Jacksonville, despite the Grizzlies obviously losing all 3 games. I think Dakota Raby was a bright spot.
Yeah, Tyson, I couldn't agree more. And I think it's really nice to see Dakota Raby pitching in consistently, being consistently good. I think we saw flashes of greatness from him beginning on in the season, and it was kind of on and off. But now he's starting to play at a high level. A high level, yes, thank you. A high level, very consistently, and I think that's good to see.
Utah went 1 for 4 on the power play in each of the first 2 games of this series. And Utah tonight, if I remember right, they were 1 for 5, I think, on the power play. Yeah, they were 1 for 5, but they allowed the 2 shorthanded goals tonight, and they allowed a shorthanded goal on Friday. So, allowing 3 shorthanded goals. But sometimes, especially when you're down by 2, you're a little bit aggressive on one end, and then, you're giving out a little bit of something on the other end if Jacksonville ever gets the puck and just throws an outlet pass to somebody who's probably cherry picking down the other way, kind of like the Grizzlies were last season a little bit. The power play was outstanding, with the goal in each of their 3 games this series, but the penalty kill. They allowed a power play goal in each of the 3 games this series. They allowed 1 power play goal on Wednesday and Friday and 2 power play goals tonight. So, special teams, the power play was outstanding. I think we knew coming into this series that Jacksonville had a pretty strong power play of their own, and special teams certainly played a big factor in this series.
Yeah, Tyson, I think special teams were pretty much the story of this entire series. I mean, you think every single game, it was a power play goal or even a shorthanded goal at times that was the difference maker. And this game was no different. I mean, the Grizzlies let in 2 power play goals, and they let in some shorthanded goals. So, I mean, that just can't happen. They got to tighten up on that. But that was the difference maker in this series.
And think about it, the Grizzlies only had 1 5-on-5 goal in the 3 games. It's going to be tough to win when that's the case. You got to find a way, as good as the power play has been, got to find a way to generate those 5-on-5 goals.
Yeah, Tyson, I agree. The 5-on-5 has been a problem for the Grizzlies, but I think getting Tarun Fizer back is big. I think that'll help with that situation. And I also think that getting Parikh back is big for the Grizzlies. I mean, you think about 2 guys that are coming back that are difference makers. I mean, Parikh is an elite goalie. Tarun Fizer is developing into an elite talent. I mean, you think just getting those 2 guys back out of the many that are gone, I mean, slowly we'll start to see this Grizzlies team kind of take form into what we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season.
It's good to see Lucas Parikh back in net this weekend, stopping 33 of 36 last night, 33 of 37 tonight. But those 2 shorthanded goals are pretty much breakaways, and Lodermeyer made a really nice move, faking to his right and then going back to his left. And obviously those power play tallies, there's not much you can do about the Skinner one. And then the controversial one where, it was kicked in. I mean, whether it was a distinct kick or not, I mean, it bounced off the skate and into the net. And, they counted that goal, which was Jacksonville's second tonight. I mean, other than that, Parikh didn't allow a 5-on-5 goal tonight, and I thought he settled in pretty nicely.
Yeah, Tyson, I thought Parikh had a really solid game. I mean, you think about stopping 33 of 37, that's pretty good. I mean, with the high shot volume that he faced. And like you said before, those goals, there wasn't much he could do about them. So I like the showing from Parikh, and it's good to see him back after a long absence.
The Grizzlies will have some time off, as after all, they don't play till next Saturday. It's going to be an interesting series against Tato Had's Kansas City Mavericks. Remember, in early November, in fact, the first week in November, the Grizzlies won 2 out of 3 games against Kansas City. On November 1st, Utah lost 3-2, and that was a Tuesday night. And then a couple nights later, November 4th, which was a Friday night, Utah won 4-3. And then the Grizzlies had kind of a memorable game in the rubber match on November 5th. That's the game where Utah went 5 for 6 on the power play. Andrew Nilsson had 6 points. It was all assists. The 6 assists tied a franchise record with Tim McGauley and for a single game. And Utah was able to win 2 out of 3 games in that series. Now, Kansas City's been about a 500 team this season. As tonight they take on Tulsa, but Kansas City comes into play with a record of 8-2. And it'll be interesting to see, what Kansas City brings to the table, because they're a club that does have some talented forwards. To give you an update, second intermission, Tulsa and Kansas City are tied at 1. Tommy Muck has the Kansas City goal, which was scored in the second period. Jimmy Soper scored a first period goal for Tulsa. Shane Starrett is in net for Kansas City. He's a pretty tough goaltender. So, the Grizzlies will have their hands full against him. John Schiavo is back in the lineup. He didn't play. Jeremy McKenna, Josh Lamon, Kansas City's got some good forwards. So I think that, to say that they're going to come to Maverick Center and the Grizzlies are just going to come away with 2 victories, I mean, they're going to have to work for the 4 standings points next weekend.
Oh, yeah, Tyson. The Mavericks are going to make the Grizzlies we have to make them work for it. I mean, these aren't going to be easy wins, but these are big games coming up against the Mavericks. These 2 teams are tied at 18 points apiece in the Mountain Division, and we've discussed before, it seems like Idaho is leading the pack right now, and that may stay the same throughout the rest of the season. But you've got a bunch of teams vying for those last 3 spots in the division. And who's going to come out on top? And I think games like this, especially these 2-game sets, a set against the Mavericks, that's huge. You got to come away with some points here against the divisional opponent, especially one that you're really close in the standings with. So I think it's going to be a battle. It's who's going to show up. Will the Grizzlies show up? Will guys like Tarun Fizer, Johnny Walker, will those guys show up? Will they come to play and help the Grizzlies to victory? I think that'll be the determining factor.
Grizzlies should get Andrew Nilsson back as he served a 1-game suspension tonight. They'll get Vladislav Mikalchuk back. He'll make his home debut on Saturday if he's in the Grizzlies lineup, as he's coming back from a 2-game suspension as he missed last night as well as tonight. Kansas City is just 3-7 on the road this season, and the Grizzlies need to find a way to take care of home ice. Utah is 3-5 at the friendly confines of Maverik Center. Well, that'll about wrap things up here from a Saturday night as we're hanging out in the Grizzlies lobby at Maverik Center. Guy, any final thoughts this evening?
Tyson, those next 2 games against Kansas City are big. I don't think the Grizzlies should dwell too much on this Kansas City series, or excuse me, on this Jacksonville series. We're on to Kansas City, and we're here at the Maverik Center next weekend. It's Teddy Bear Toss. It's Ugly Sweater Night. I want to hear the Maverik Center nice and loud with all their ugly sweaters, and I want to see a ton of teddy bears on the ice.
Yeah, we want to see a lot of ugly sweaters, and we want to see a lot of teddy bears and stuffed animals on the ice, which will be after Utah's first goal. Will it be Johnny Walker? Will it be Dakota Raby? Maybe Tarun Fizer gets that Teddy Bear Toss goal. I got a strange feeling it might be either Keaton Jamison or Dylan Fitz that finds the back of the net first on Saturday, but should be a lot of fun. Teddy Bear Toss and Ugly Sweater. That's going to be next Saturday. And then Sunday, December 18th, is going to be a 3 o'clock start. Grizzlies and the Kansas City Mavericks. Well, Utah got swept in a 3-game series against the Jacksonville Icemen as they were outscored 13-4. Utah is now 6-7 on the road and 9-12 overall. And it'll be interesting to see what the roster looks like next week. Obviously, the Grizzlies will get some practices in, and the power play's certainly been power play certainly worked. They've got a power play goal in each of their 3 games in this series. What can the Grizzlies do to generate some 5-on-5 goals? We'll find out next weekend against Kansas City. We'll now wrap things up once again in 2 hours and 27 minutes and in front of 7,362 over at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. The Jacksonville Icemen got goals from 4 different players. They had 2 power play goals and 2 shorthanded goals. The Grizzlies had a goal from Dakota Raby on the power play, his 4th of the year. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast and not necessarily the final outcome. For Guy Carenza, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is.